Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Seth, also Tates, here to welcome you to episode 3 of Non-Standard Action. We have with us today the half-orc soldier who won't fight before his Folgers. I didn't fix the rhyme, Guruk. She's pale and she's small, but with her friend, she knows it all. It's Mouse and Serendipity.
Hello. Yeah, hello.
The Riforian mystic who's got the quick fix. It's Kaylin.
Good morning.
Trying out new ones. See how these ones land.
That one was better.
It was a lot better. I feel better about that one.
Yep.
And maybe the only shapeshifter that isn't a grifter, Herald.
Oh, hello.
How's everyone doing?
Nailed it.
You might notice that we are lacking our big lizard that's part entropic wizard, Ninden. We are all busy adults that have obligations. This is something that will happen from time to time, and we will adjust. You might realize that we adjusted in the last episode by having him pushed away by a panicked crowd of people who were being shot at. Something I'll get more into detail about.
You just made it feel so natural. I barely even noticed it happening.
Yeah, no, I didn't really realize that's why afterwards, but also I just don't pay enough attention.
Well, there is a giant elephant in the room that I think we need to address. The controversy, the biggest one so far of 2019. It has come to my attention through many channels that I have been pronouncing a certain word.
No, I'm pretty sure that your way is right. I'm pretty sure.
In a way.
I tried to warn you, Tates.
Well, no, so here's the deal. I'm not wrong. This is just not the way that people traditionally say the word in the English language.
Which is the language that we are speaking currently.
I understand that. However, when your main exposure to this word that, I don't know about you guys, I certainly don't encounter the word in the spoken form on a daily basis. So my exposure was from a Swedish band called Mike Snow, who pronounces it archipelago, but it has been made abundantly clear that I should be saying archipelago.
I'm really upset with everybody who corrected Seth, because we could have let this go on forever, and you guys told him. Bad audience.
Many people.
All I need to hear was the origin story, though. Now I understand why you say it like that. Of course he says it weird. He learned from the Swedes.
Yeah, the Swedes.
Oh, Tekken Swedes.
Gold member, the whole lot of them.
Can't trust him for anything.
Oh wait, no. Oh, he was Dutch. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was Dutch.
That's my bad. That's on me. All right, I think with that out of the way. Oh, archipelago. Okay, I think I can do this.
We can all say it together. Archipelago.
Just picture the word in your mind.
Islands covered in nuclear radiation.
Wait, nuclear radiation?
Oh yeah, they dropped nuclear bombs on our archipelago. That's a story. Never mind.
The Bikini Atoll, certainly.
Yeah, the atoll. All right, is everybody ready to play Starfinder?
Yeah, I guess.
Yes!
Bring it on.
All right, let me remind everyone what happened and get us caught up.
Seth, did you fall over dead?
I did not. I am waiting for the music to start so I can do the intro.
Darn that music. You gotta give us warning so we can crack some jokes or something, you know?
I mean, we're cracking jokes right now, technically.
My god, you're right.
Oh, wait, the music's starting.
Okay, shh.
Everybody quiet.
Asanatown is something of an anomaly to anybody visiting the burning archipelago. This beautiful domed island is haunted by the ever-present gloom of its very inhabitants, the Lashunta. Plagued by the psychic dread that emanates from the sun itself, it would be difficult for an outsider to understand why any of the Lashunta would opt to stay. There are a few explanations, but one that is often glossed over is the end of the Formian Wars on Castrovel. With the assistance of the Shirin, a peace treaty brokered between the Lashunta and the Formians brought an end to a long and bloody feud between the two races. Generations of families, military families, suddenly found themselves in a time of peace. A strange change of pace for many, including the young soldiers who were recalled from the battlefield. With a sudden lack of adrenaline, the constant feeling of security was uncomfortable for many. They sought to correct this in various ways, whether it was to sign up for the mercenary work, stewards, or other military forces embroiled in conflict. Others, however, had the idea to move to the sun. The constant feeling of danger the environment provides made them feel right at home again, as though they were on the battlefield once more. This influence has been felt through the decades. These former soldiers raise their children in Asanatown, children who have never known what it feels to be free of this pervading dread. More and more, the sentiment grows that they need to be prepared for whatever conflict is looming, secretly developing more weapons, armor, training their youth for combat. This seemingly small movement is something that the residents of the archipelago are at least partially aware of, though there has been little reason to take it seriously. That is, until today. Shortly after arriving in Asanatown, the crew of the Fortune's Fool bore witness to a declaration from a Lashunta named Zaylin Trinipol, the self-proclaimed commander of a group called the Sunrise Collective. This declaration was one for the Asanatown united for one purpose: to serve the Lashunta, who they feel have been cast aside and ignored for too long. This latest psychic assault, the strongest ever felt, and the fall of the Far Portal appear to have been the final straw. The Collective's militia has sealed off the Linecrawler station with temporary fortifications, and after a tense standoff with the crowd, began to fire on the civilians. Ninden was separated by a surge of panicked rioters, and the rest of the crew found themselves following their guide, Tayres, through the streets of Asanatown. Okay. How's the gang feeling about this situation?
Stressed, increasingly.
Mouse is beginning to wonder if she has some really bad luck.
I think everybody feels like they have bad luck right now.
Yeah, we do indeed have really bad luck. But at least Ninden can take care of himself.
Probably.
Hopefully.
Gur is incredibly distraught that his workout buddy is nowhere to be seen.
Oh yeah. How close are Gur and Ninden exactly? Are they pretty good friends?
Close? We're not close. We
okay.
don't get close.
Got it.
But of course, this is all just a front. Gur is very, very afraid that his workout friend and companion is not here.
Right.
I dig the bromance.
OTP.
I remember Herald mentioning that they should try to keep in touch via comm unit. Does anybody attempt to utilize theirs?
Gur has absolutely been pinging him, sending him a bunch of really desperate texts. No. Desperate for safety.
What you have been getting back in response is messages that the infosphere is down. It appears as part of this cordoning of Asanatown involved the shutting down of the local infosphere. So it appears that you are no longer connected with the outside world in any way.
Bronk. This isn't
Wow.
good, guys.
Well, that's no good. Serendipity?
Yes, Masculini?
Try to see if they've put up a firewall or if connections have been severed.
All right, sir. All right, Masculini. I'll do my best. So basically, Serendipity will keep pinging the server, basically, and also looking for firewalls. Would you like a computer check for that or something?
I mean, you can roll dice if you feel like it, but I'm just letting you know it's not going to do anything, unfortunately.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's now imagine being an AI, right? Like a engineered construct that's used to just as part of your function being connected to a network, and that network isn't there. That has to be an interesting sensation for Serendipity. I'm sure it's experienced occasionally, but
This is a new experience. I'll have to grow from it. I'm learning new things all the time.
Harald will ask our guide, whose name already escaped me, even though you said it like
Teyres.
Teyres. Archipelago, Teyres, Archipelago.
Oh, yeah, that's her last name, Teyres Archipelago.
Oh, hold on, let me switch the camera.
How convenient.
There, now our audience can see her too.
Yes.
Good stuff. Harald will tap Therese on the shoulder as we move quickly through these side streets. Where are we going exactly?
So when you tap her shoulder, she jumps a little bit, and as if she just got, she was in like focus mode. As you've been navigating the streets, it started off as a sprint and kind of like slowed down to a jog, and now it's just kind of like a really fast power walk. But yeah, she stops and is willing to stop for a moment to kind of reassess what's going on. She goes, well, so it's Nib, my contact, my wife, my ex-wife. She stays at my apartment. I'm not there a lot of the time, so she lives there. It helps save on rent, and it might be best for us to stay indoors while this is going on. So I thought maybe we could just head to my apartment.
I see.
Got any food at your apartment? I don't suppose.
You'll have to ask Nib. I haven't been home in months.
I don't suppose you know anything more about this organization that has taken over the Asanatown?
She takes a moment to try and recall. The organization you're speaking of is the Sunrise Collective, and she just kind of, her brow furrows and she shakes her head and she says, "No, you hear about them on the news sometimes, and in rumors people talk about them, but they're just a group of people who want Asanatown to be just for Lashunta. They're extremely vocal, and nobody takes them very seriously, but I guess maybe we should have."
Yes, looking at a flashing sign on one of the tall buildings of Asanatown that says Asanatown for Lashunta.
Actually, yeah. The banners, all the advertising banners and all the screens around town, with a lack of connection to the infosphere. Of course, with the exception of those that have like a locally based broadcast. They have either no connection or are broadcasting some sort of propagandic material. The streets are pretty uncrowded at this point. News spread pretty fast amongst the residents, and also the sounds of gunfire and other forms of militaristic suppression around the city have cued in people that they should probably be indoors. However, you do catch the odd vehicle or the odd group of people standing on street corners and looking around, talking to each other, gossiping. If you would like to, as you navigate the streets, learn some more information from these people, please make a diplomacy check.
Sure, and also I will.
Nope.
I'll have to do this as Trent, cause I did just remember that I'm not Harald right now. So just pretend that the whole last conversation happened in a lower octave.
Sure, I can do that. Hopefully the audience can do it too.
I believe in them.
Wow.
Hey, Herald.
Well,
that's not my name.
Sure, fine, whatever. Look, I've got an idea that might help. You may notice none of us, except for our guide for Terrace, are Lashunta. Maybe we could increase the number of Lashunta on our party.
And she gives you a meaningful look through her goggles.
Trent looks at Mouse and looks at Terrace and says, yeah, we'll probably need to talk about that once we get somewhere more secure. But thanks for the reminder, Mouse. I appreciate your contributions. And
That's just HR speak for okay, shut up, isn't it?
no, I mean,
I've had conversations with HR before. I understand.
All right. Well, Trent will still talk to the various people. Do we see any like violence on our way to Teresa's apartment?
No, you somehow managed to avoid any of that. You believe that so thinking about it, when Therese mentioned that it was a relatively small group, you imagine that their first act, as somebody who does espionage and is slightly familiar with military-style operations, you suspect that they probably focused their efforts on physically sealing off the line crawler stations, then severed the infosphere. And now is when they would start, after that was done, is when they would start enacting their martial law upon the town once they had secured it. So you think this might just be the tip of the iceberg.
Okay. Then I guess we'll get inside and... oh yes, you wanted a diplomacy check.
If you want to try and glean some more information.
I love gleaning.
And if anybody would like to assist, here I'll... Actually, never mind. You blew through everything. There is the potential you could have rolled really low, but you didn't. All right. You have revealed...
Oh, that was a 27. That was a 27 for people listening at home. Sorry.
Oh, yes.
Mouse will assist by not getting in the way.
Mouse rolls a 1. Everyone hates you. Nobody talks to you. No. So through...
Sounds like high school all over again.
Oh, poor Mouse.
What? Was she not talking about me? Wow. Anyway. Yeah, so what you're able to learn is the Sunrise Collective is a fringe paramilitary group that has gained momentum lately under the charismatic leadership of the man in the announcement, Zaylin Trinipal. He's using the psychic pulses as an excuse, which has rallied a lot of people to his cause. And the collective has seized and imprisoned some of Asanatown's counselors and declared martial law. They're rounding up non-Lashunta undesirables, and people have been injured or killed for resisting. Despite their message of isolation, the collective has brought in a mercenary group called the Brass Dragons, made up of people most notably Ifrit, from the nearby bubble of Corona. Citizens have been instructed to treat the mercenary as they would treat Lashunta collective soldiers, as if they're the rightful police of the town. So there's an exception to the Lashunta only, and it's Brass Dragon mercenaries specifically. The officer in charge of the Brass Dragons forces in Asanatown is an Ifrit woman by the name of Rej Vierna. Let me spell that. I imagine this might be pronounced Ray Vierna. I don't know. I don't speak Ignan, so I'm not familiar with the dialect.
Ignan, do you speak it?
I don't. I sure don't. The mercs in Asanatown are only a portion of the mercenary company's might, and Ray is just an officer of the organization. Even combined, the Brass Dragons and the Sunrise Collective are a pretty meager force to control all of Asanatown. It's just that most of the archipelago is pretty underarmed because it's rare that armed forces attack the sun. It's not a smart move.
You mean a peacetime? They they live in peace, and there's really no reason to own weapons on the sun.
Who does that? Who lives in peace?
That's largely correct. Obviously, the Lashunta don't feel like it's 100% safe because their brains are constantly under assault from this dread, right? But most citizens are the most strife that they encounter commonly is either political or corporate, because there's a lot of very powerful corporations here, and they will happily drive people into the poorhouse if they can. However, there's a large Serenite population here, so nobody's off their feet for too long on the archipelago, because the Serenite will help. As Patrick, I'm sure, would love to go on about Serenray, because I am pretty sure that Patrick is a member of the church. I could be wrong.
Hey, there are worse churches.
Yeah.
I think he's claiming he's a goddess himself these days.
Right.
I mean, you can be a goddess and still like other goddesses. Regardless, so I get this.
I mean, Nick likes me, right?
Yeah. Look, so I assume that we're like talking to some non-Lashunta who's like giving us the lowdown on this district, and Trent.
No, it's a mixture. It's non-Lashunta and Lashunta alike are willing to talk about this sort of thing.
Sure. I'm just imagining a scene in which, after Trent finishes talking to people, he suggests he makes sure that like some of the non-Lashunta have a place to hide and suggests that they lay low for a while.
Oh yeah, there are people who, like whenever a hurricane is going to hit Florida, and they tell people to move, and some people are just like, no, I'm not moving, I'm not leaving.
And they just stay and get drunk.
Yeah. That's, some people are inclined to respond that way. They're like, oh, there's no way that this is way less serious than people are making it out to be. They clearly weren't at the line crawler station. They clearly didn't see it with their own eyes, and they don't believe anybody who says that this is a serious thing. So you get mixed responses. You believe that probably the people who are the most afraid are people who are not on the street anymore. So you don't really get a chance to talk to them.
Sure.
One further piece of information that you are able to glean, at least from the rumors, is that the Sunrise Collective seems to have taken control of the Horizon House, which is the city's capital building, located in the Asanatown neighborhood of Clearlight. It's a side bubble to Asanatown, so the only way to get to it is a line crawler. However, it does have every governing member of Asanatown in it. They're likely to be in that building held hostage.
Oh, well, that's not good.
That's not good at all.
I don't suppose you have all this stuff easily copy-pastable into the Roll20 window?
Not easily copy-pastable, but
Alright,
I will put it in there.
I have a memory like a steel trap.
I wrote it in my notebook.
Oh. I feel like we need to be able to see this notebook.
Yeah, well,
I'll copy paste.
Yeah, well,
paper
make your own
notebook?
notebook.
A paper notebook?
Papier mâché.
All right, fine. I'll survive.
I'll put it. I'll put it in the game talk on the Discord.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah. So that's just from different bits and pieces of conversation as you navigate the streets. This is stuff you're able to learn from rumors and the grapevine, what have you.
All right.
As you continue along, you get some time to observe the streets of Asanatown. Despite its reputation and the situation you find yourselves in, it's honestly very nice looking. The buildings are cast in various metallic hues, trending towards an almost brass or golden color. Greenery is planted in a strategic fashion, giving pops of color and organic life where when you pass through these once you imagine very busy thoroughfares that are near barren now.
Weird. It's like a ghost town, but a
little
really pleasant one.
there's always like somebody like 2 blocks away. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever been in that situation where you're
Yeah,
walking down the
totally.
streets and there's always just somebody like 2 blocks away, but never anybody closer than that? One of those situations. Anything else anybody would like to do, or should we head straight to Terrace's apartment?
I got nothing.
Gur is very interested in getting off the street.
Yeah, half-orcs generally not welcome in a lot of places, and this seems like a
lot of
particularly
places.
hostile environment.
So it's like you have, it's like you've got experience with this.
You can tell that Gur is trying to keep a low profile because he's found like random bits of odd and end, like hopefully a shredded scarf in a garbage can somewhere, and like wrapped it around his head, kind of like trying to hide his face.
Oh sure, yeah, you can do that for sure.
I won't roll a disguise check because he's not good at it, but he's definitely trying to hide the fact that he is in fact a half-orc.
Hey, dice are exciting. Why not just toss us one and see what happens?
Because I'm pretty sure disguise is trained only, but if you really want me to throw some dice at you,
Roll it.
Is it really?
Disguise is not
Alright.
trained only.
For those at home, Gur just rolled a flat 15 on his disguise
Yeah,
check
that's
to
not
see
shabby.
if he looks like a half-orc or not.
That's not bad.
Oh,
That's
where
not
did Gur go? I'm just kidding. You're right there.
Harald just humoring Gur as
It's
he
like,
tries
oh, that's really good.
so-
Now, what effectively you've done is you've made it so people will be like, "Is that an orc? No. What is that?" That's the state people are in now. They're not. They can't determine what you are right away.
You've gone
There you
from
go.
half orc to half question mark.
Yeah, can't hide the
something.
screen.
Have something. All right.
Mouse
so-
knows better. She's just gonna try and keep the shadows. I mean, it's not like she can make herself taller.
Right. Now, Mouse would probably be deemed not a threat, at least. You know what I mean?
That's
Ooh, I
their
know, Mouse.
mistake.
Which is a
I've
mistake.
got this trench coat, Mouse. You can ride on my shoulders.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. But
What's your
thanks.
secret on the street?
All right. So, after some time, you do arrive at Teresa's apartment. Like the other buildings here, you suspect this was probably intended for some other purpose by whatever civilization built the archipelago to begin with, which remains a mystery. Instead, the windows along its utilitarian facade give way to various personal effects, such as hanging plants or banners or artwork or other kinds of decor, which indicates that people live there. She leads you up the elevator to the 8th floor, to her modest apartment. It's nothing special to people who live in the world of Starfinder, but I think we would probably find it to be pretty cool. It's very clean and practical. It's furnished almost like an IKEA display. And boop, I found a thing that we could use just to kind of represent the apartment.
Possibly from IKEA.
No, not from IKEA.
Lol. That'd be funny though.
Who's that in the picture frame on the wall there?
I don't know. I think it might be
Zooming in.
I think it might be Batman.
Honestly, it looks like Matthew McConaughey to me.
Oh yeah, I think it's Matthew McConaughey.
All right, the whole party clusters around that picture.
Interstellar.
Oh God, Gur
No,
is
it's a movie poster. Like, they really like that movie. Whatever.
Yeah. We can ignore that poster.
I'll try.
We'll try.
Teres guides you here, and it no longer sounds like you're on the street. There we go. Fixed it.
Gur is very uncomfortable and feels very out of place in an apartment that is actually clean.
Yeah, despite the fact that she doesn't stay here often, it still seems like there's one resident who does, which she revealed to you because you asked her. She has a moment where she tries to locate all available sitting surfaces, and she kind of haphazardly drags them one by one into the living space while you all settle down. You do notice that there is not another person here, however, and she seems a little bit worried about that fact.
Gur will remain standing, and when he doesn't see anybody for a few minutes, he turns to her a little suspiciously and says, So where's this friend of yours, huh?
I don't know. I don't know. I hope she's in the Stella Cuna.
The Stella
What is that?
Oh, Harold, you would know what that is. The Stellar Cuna is a dome that houses the university here, as well as other academic facilities.
Well, and that's in Asanatown?
It's
Or,
not
no,
in
it's a
Asanatown.
different
It's
dome,
a completely separate dome. So she's saying that she hopes that Nib, if she's not here in the apartment, is hopefully safely in another dome entirely.
Well, you can leave a note here, and honestly, she's probably safer if she's out there. This does put a bit of a damper on our plans. Well, this whole thing puts a damper on our plans.
Yeah.
An understatement, Kevin.
Okay, look, first things first, we should probably address what Mouse said out on the streets.
What did she say? Teres apparently did not overhear it.
Oh, well, good. I'm, not actually Trent Farstar. And Herald will undergo that horrific transformation with his hair receding into his face and his head splitting open and his mouth sealing up.
I really just need to have a thing on cue for when you do that. Like I just need to. Well, no, I need to have like a sound set with like really gross squelching noises and like a horror track or something like that to just very briefly switch over to.
Oh no.
Note for the future. Got it.
Squelching and slide whistle, I think, would be more appropriate.
Slide whistle. It's like the gas escaping from his physical form makes a slide whistle sound every time somehow.
Perfect.
Anyway,
just when I thought I couldn't get more grossed out.
When you mention that you're not Trent, she raises a brow, but when you start transforming, she is obviously a lot more surprised by that and kind of leans back against a counter or some other surface to watch. You can tell that unlike other people whose reaction to something they don't understand is fear, hers is dominated, at least in part, by curiosity. So she watches and she's like, what? I've heard of your kind before.
Yes, Astrozoan.
That's what it was. I've never seen one. I mean, I guess I don't think I've ever seen one.
You probably have.
It's hard to know, even for us. We don't really have any secret call signs. Regardless, I think it might be wise for me to travel the town as a Lashunta, as Mouse suggested.
That might be a good idea. If we're going to... But, I mean, if we leave, I guess I don't know if we should yet or not.
Well, given that our current mission is a bit impossible, any of our missions are a bit impossible while this lockdown is occurring. Look, from what I've heard, these people are not going to rule Asanatown very well. I get the impression that this transition period is going to last a while.
She considers that, and she says, it's true. We do have a local police force, but they're not really equipped to deal with a militia. But it's possible that this transition will take some time. There is the possibility that we can still navigate the streets.
But sure, I'm just trying to figure out what we should do next. And he'll sort of glance at Kaelin for approval. I think we should help end this thing.
Probably about the only way we're gonna get out of here.
Yes.
How does
I suppose.
Oh, sorry.
Good. All right. So you said that there are some police force, and the police force are a bit more diversity-minded than the what are they called again?
The Sunrise Collective.
Sunrise Collective. Sunrise Collective. I'm gonna write it down.
She nods. She says, "Well, yes. Up until today, it's always been legal for anyone who's not a Lashunta to live here."
All right. Who commands them? Where might they be? Do you think that they're locked up as well?
She gives you kind of like an incredulous shrug. She's like, "I don't have any way of knowing that. I don't keep track of who the police commander is."
If only we could space Google it.
I'm sorry, Mascolini, but connections to the exosphere are down.
Yeah,
So-
we know, Serendipity. We know.
So she looks at you guys, and you realize maybe this comes over you at the same time. You have not had a rest since before you made it to port at Far Portal Station. So you've got a little bit of combat fatigue going on. You've got some wounds from when you were on the starship. Superficial, nothing too serious, but this might be, now that you're actually in a place where you don't have to be watching your back constantly, maybe with the exception of Gur, who I don't think has an off switch.
Negative.
You might start to feel a little bit of the fatigue set in, and she kind of notices that, and she says, "Here, I'll try and find some bedding, and if you want to take a rest, we can try and figure out our next move."
Oh, yes, you're right. I do only have one resolve point left. If I
It is
were to
probably
express my current resolve in terms of points. Anyways, no betting for me. Just a very large jar will do nicely.
Ew.
Damn octopus.
Like a bucket.
Straight octopus mode, like.
All it requires is a peanut butter jar with a lid.
A big peanut butter jar, thank you.
Just put a
It'd have to be
treat in it.
medium-sized peanut butter jar, right?
Just put a treat in it, and then he has all the incentive he needs to open up that lid and slip inside.
All right, we're not playing Secrets of Cats today. It's not a cat.
Did I miss out on something last night?
Oh my gosh,
Yes, we played a lovely RPG where everyone plays wizard cats.
they're normal cats. It's just that it turns out
Cats
all
are magic.
cats are wizards.
Yes.
So
Oh, it's very, very Lovecraft.
Yes, it is, but that is neither here nor there.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, we should get some rest.
Yeah. So, you
yeah,
guys are able
Mouse
to...
begins to respond, but halfway through it dissolves into a yawn.
Yes, okay, fine, yes.
She just she just crashes on the couch. Like, she was sitting on the couch, and now she's horizontal on the couch, and she is adorable, you guys. Just pronkin' adorable.
I was gonna say,
she's a little curled up.
Did she have her hood up already?
Yes.
So she had her hood up while she yawned with her little mouse ears on the hoodie sticking up.
Yep. Her sneakers are kicked off at the bottom of the couch, and her little feet are tucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And yep. And now she snores like a little.
Oh my gosh. And she still only takes up one cushion on the couch.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Kaylin can curl up on the other end.
All right.
Harald finds a unused vase.
Like that one in the picture, like takes the plant out and crawls
yeah.
inside.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Just slides right on inside.
It just has. So if you look down from the bottom, it just looks like there's like some pinkish goop with two eyes floating on top.
Does he make any effort to kind of look like a plant?
I mean, no, we're all friends.
He turns kind of green. We're all friends here. I can a pink goop with eyes. That's fine.
If for those in our audience who have not joined our Discord, there are memes related to this joke already there. You should definitely join it.
Wow. There you go. Interesting. So yeah, you get the appropriate amount of rest. 6 hours I think it is in Starfinder.
It is 6 hours indeed, yes.
If you don't have to do watches, which you don't, because you're inside of an apartment.
Unless we don't trust Teres.
That's a good point. Do you trust Teres enough to sleep without watches?
Gur does not. He will keep an eye.
All right.
It's an apartment. Lock the door.
But if Teres got us here because she worked for our corporation...
Or...
No, right, we have to keep watches.
I am with the Sunrise Collective!
Yeah, I mean, look, there's plenty of evil entities out there. No, we'll keep watches. Harald keeps watches most sneakily of all, with just one of the eyeballs rising from the jar, slowly rotating over the course of an hour.
It's like the trash compactor monster from Star Wars.
Yes.
Just like a single eye stalk comes out of the jar. So yeah, it's fine. Teres is not a secret Nazi. She's not gonna turn you in or anything. So you all get your rest. You wake up and it looks like it's the exact same time of day outside because sun. They don't know what it's like to be nighttime on the sun. Which has to be heck for certain races, man. I know it would drive me crazy.
Yeah, Nick wouldn't know anything about that.
It definitely drives people crazy. People get really, really weird when the sun doesn't go down. Tell you what.
Yeah, I imagine. So, yeah, everything seems to be okay, but the moment that Teres notices that you're all starting to stir, she comes to you with something of a disturbed look on her face. She, holding her comm unit, she looks at everyone. She says, I got a message from Nib. I know the communications are down. She must have used some sort of ad hoc method or something.
Ooh, I wonder what that was.
She's very smart. But she told me that she's at a place called Checkpoint Laobu. The only thing I can think of is that there's a police station named Laobu. I guess they must have turned it into some sort of checkpoint, but she's detained there. It sounds like she's in trouble.
Well, two birds with one stone, right? I mean, we were gonna check out the police situation. Might as well go get your friend.
Yes, that seems like a pretty reasonable first thing. Let's see here. Lashunta. I guess he'll turn back into Trent, sans the facial hair, and plus several eye stalks, staring at himself in the... Not eye stalks, sorry. Antenna.
There you go.
That's the one. Sorry, I get all those tendril type things mixed up.
You've seen one tendril, you've seen them all.
Yeah. Maybe some like longer hair. He'll be blonde instead of black haired. Make the nose smaller by pushing it into his face. A bit more wiry.
Wait, you mean like he actually puts a finger to the nose and it like recedes into the skull a bit?
Yeah, it's a little bit easier if you push.
So gross.
Oh, no. He like, in order to grow the antenna, he like pinches a bit at the skin on his forehead and then just kind of pulls and it elongates with him.
Oh, there you go.
Kind of beads it at the end. All right.
Make a Play-Doh snake.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm just living Play-Doh.
Gross.
Best character.
And I think I need a name.
Ooh. Maybe we could ask the I don't want to call them the Shadow Council. That's C-Team's word. What do we call our viewers?
Our viewers? Hey, chat on the Twitter.
Let's give this Harald Lashunta a name.
Anyone have a name offhand?
You have 30 seconds. Go.
Play us some Jeopardy music, Tates. Do.
I don't know that I wasn't ready with a Jeopardy song.
Oh,
That's another
gosh.
thing to add. We need a Herald transformation button and a we asked the chat something button.
We do. There it goes.
So we have
Lestrald.
Lestrald, Harry Tish, Clint, McLean, Icar. Ooh. Oh, to Chris, that's
Christy.
right. That's
He
right.
did.
When we brought it up, he did come up with that personality a week ago, roughly.
All right, I'll go with oh god, it's hard to say though. To Christy. Let me write it down a few times.
Yeah, you gotta write that down.
We'll just call you Christy. It's okay.
Christy from the block.
Yo.
Let's go with to Christy.
This is a practice that Mouse and Gur are probably not used to, but Kaylin has been involved with it a number of times.
Mouse is sitting with her legs crossed on the couch and her head tipped sideways, watching the whole thing intently.
With interest. Just because she's curious.
Yeah.
And let's just keep it easy and close to the truth. We'll be a crew of mercenaries who aren't from Asanatown, but who were passing through when the cordon went down.
Teres nods, and she says, "Well, with the infosphere down, I can't exactly give you a map to Laobu Station. Would you like me to come along?"
Yes, please.
I don't suppose you're at all adept in a fight?
She looks terrified at the idea of actually having to fight. I was hoping we wouldn't have to.
I would hope so too. I think we should be able to protect you, and from what I'm seeing in the infospheres, it isn't like it's an outright war zone out there.
I'll look after her, don't worry.
And Mouse, stands up on the couch in her stocking feet.
So yeah, how does Gur feel about this situation? The idea of going to a police station checkpoint to rescue someone.
Not sure this is such a good idea, guys, but this guy here looks a little bit worried. I suppose I'd feel bad if I said no.
What do you propose, Gur?
I'm more of a big picture guy. I'm not really an idea man.
I see.
You're more like a no man.
Gur not
Instead of a
certain
yes
whether or
man.
not he was Gur not certain whether or not he was being insulted, just kind of laughs uncomfortably. Yes.
The American response.
By which
Okay.
I mean, put up or shut.
Yes, Gur, we're happy to have you with us. I understand that I'm asking you to go into a dangerous situation that is well outside of our planned mission parameters, and I appreciate your willingness to improvise.
Right.
Somebody's got to take care of you with an engine gun.
It's an adventure. Okay, let me get my shoes on.
And she then begins the 5-minute process of lacing them.
Now this, I'll spread a, well, I guess paper doesn't exist in the future. I spread a virtual piece of paper on my comm pad and ask her to sketch out a rough map of the way to this Laobu station.
Okay, so Teres is not going to be coming with you guys.
Oh no! I just like to get a feel for the layout of the area. I think Herald still wants Teres to go in case, so that when we run into her ex-wife, she believes us.
So, yeah, there's paper. There's probably paper, right?
Lamb.
People always want paper.
Killing trees
she'll
in space.
She'll happily do her best. This isn't her skill set. she's used to looking at like wavelengths and that sort of thing. That's what she's good at. She's not necessarily good at cartography, but she creates a pretty rough thing where you know when somebody is like, hey, let's go to a place, like, you know, like, hey, let's go to Pizza Hut, and then like in your head only the streets that will take you there exist in your mind. That's basically the map she makes. Like it's one of those things where she's like, you go down this street, then this street, and then this street, and there's no like amount of blocks to pass before you turn or anything. It's just the streets. So that's what you're working with.
All right.
Should be
What's left
workable.
to do? Let's move out.
All right. If you're all ready, we will move on to the streets once again.
We be moving on out.
So, the streets have been largely unpopulated with the exception of the occasional vehicle. Sometimes small convoys of vehicles bearing the Sunrise Collective's logo will drive past you as you navigate the streets. It appears that whatever objective they have is more important than stopping and rounding up some random dissidents, so that at least gives you the impression that they're not after everyone that's not a Lashunta, at least currently. So, that's good. As you make
It's
your
early
way...
days. The genocide hasn't really started yet.
Yeah, you know, it's not genocide time yet.
You gotta build up to genocide.
Yeah, you know, it's a slow boil. As you make your way to one of the major thoroughfares, you start to hear the sounds of a crowd. And it intensifies as you round the bend. Here.
Well, that does sound like an intense crowd.
There is a crowd.
Does sound good.
Okay. So, what you see is a crowd of protesters with various homemade signs, things saying like Asanatown for everyone, telling them to go home. And as you look further on, in the alcove in front of a restaurant across the street, there are 2 Sunrise Collective soldiers and a Brass Dragon mercenary that are surrounded by this crowd. It looks like they're attempting to radio for backup. And the crowd is getting pretty intense around them. They're not police, and you kind of get the idea that they're not used to dealing with protesters in a civil manner because they have not had that training. They've only had military training.
They have one way of dealing with people. It's very effective, but it's very permanent.
Yeah, this could go sideways real quick.
Yes. Let's pause here for a moment. Hrald will delicately make his way up through the crowd, inviting you guys to come along.
Is there any delicately making your way through a angry mob?
Yeah, Kaylin will stick by his shoulder.
Excuse me. Let me just slip through here. Hi, how are you doing?
Fuck the police. I'm sorry, pronk the police. There you go, PTP.
Good save.
You get some alliteration.
I guess I'll make some effort, like trying to talk to some of the slightly less shouty people in the mob to try to get a feel for like what happened here, if something did indeed happen here to cause this particular riot.
Well, you notice
it's not a riot yet.
Yeah.
You notice that it's about 50% Lashunta, but there's various other races here that are upset about the current situation of Asanatown. And you get kind of like a snarky response from somebody. They're like, they forgot to bring their backup. Look at them. We're just going to make sure that they know that they're not welcome here.
I see. And you don't think that you don't have any inclination as to what the backup will do once it does get here?
And they look at the rest of the crowd and they're like, "Look, buddy, I think it's a little too late to start changing minds here." You can see that objects are starting to get flung, like bottles and such are being flung at the restaurant front.
Christy will sort of grit his teeth and say, "It's never too late."
Perhaps we can. If something bad's gonna happen, so perhaps we can get around this and go in a back way and see what they here for.
No, look, these people just need to. Let me try to talk to them.
All right, but I've got this just in case. And Gur kind of pulls out something that looks like a little bit more nicer than a tin can this time.
He did some work on it.
Yeah, he did a little bit of work on it, but you can see instead of a bunch of wires connected to a capacitor, he's swapped that out with a cartridge of rather large rubber pellets. He has, in fact, created in the night a riot grenade.
Oh my gosh.
For just this situation.
Gur, why don't you just hide that really effectively?
Sleight of hand.
Just put that back, like grab your hand as you pull it out and just like push it right back into your coat pocket.
It's like that thing where like a samurai tries to draw his sword and the ninja kicks the sword back into the hilt. It's like, nope.
To be fair, he wasn't actually like pulling it out for everyone to see. He was just kind of like, showing it discreetly.
Like that kid who brings a knife to class.
Hey, you want to see what I got? It's really cool.
Wait, there are kids who don't bring knives to class?
Look, wow. I know
not everywhere's Alaska, Nick.
All right.
Kaylin's gonna move around sort of the edge of the crowd, so she kind of has a good view of everybody in case in case Harald messes this up.
In case.
We got this. Harald will like make his way towards the center of the crowd and raise his hands. And when the mob doesn't quiet down, because this is as previously mentioned, mob, say, "Ladies and gentlemen of Asanatown, this is not what we want to do here."
Let me see.
There's.
Hold on. I've got a slightly less riotous. There we go. They start to quiet down a little bit because somebody standing in the middle of all of this is definitely something that's going to get attention. So
there are only if there are better ways to fight against this injustice than to accost these three soldiers. Our lives are in danger if we crowd like this.
They're kind of like talking amongst each other. They don't really seem super convinced. Can I grab a diplomacy check and then maybe a little bit more?
Yeah, I will talk to them. And they will agree to leave this building, and none of us should attack them, because that's just going to turn this into a bloodbath.
Okay, that's a little bit more convincing. Let me see that diplomacy check.
Is that 23?
It seems pretty convincing. They start to talk amongst each other a little bit. It seems that a lot of them got kind of caught up in the fervor and didn't take into account that these things would that perhaps this would escalate into like actual bad violence, especially if backup does arrive. So they kind of start to step back a little bit and mingle with each other. You can see that the soldiers visibly become less tense. They're just kind of looking amongst each other.
All right.
Quick tactical question. This is like the front of a restaurant here, right?
Yeah.
Are these windows out front, or is it a solid wall?
That's like, how there's like tables outside of a restaurant? Mm-hmm. That's kind of where they're in right now. Like the doors are to the north of them, and there's like a very small partition that they could take cover behind if they needed to for some reason.
All right. Well, Kaylin won't move quite up to that partition, but she'll move up to like this wall of the building next to.
Uh-huh.
Just kind of fly casual.
And Mouse will sneak along behind her. Not quite as cash, but, you know, smaller, so most people don't really look below their waist anymore.
Right.
Gur
And she has her
blended into the
hoodie
crowd.
up.
Oh yeah, Gur blends into this crowd expertly. And Mouse has her hoodie up. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Of course.
With the crowd pushed back a bit, I'll turn around and try the restaurant door. I suppose it's locked.
Oh no, that's not. That's open.
Oh. I'll just
That's
step inside.
again. This whole area here is it's like a patio. Like, you ever been to like a Chipotle?
No,
You know
no,
how,
no.
like, there's-
I understood you when you said the word patio.
Okay. Well, fine.
I have been to Chipotle though. They have patios sometimes.
Who
I have never
I'm
been
not
to
a pleb.
Chipotle.
I've been to Chipotle.
who hasn't been to a
Who
Chipotle?
hasn't?
Me.
Oh,
You
weird.
We don't have
uncultured-
one here.
I'm just joking.
Gentlemen, I'm sorry. My name's Captain Takrishti. Who are yourselves?
Did you seriously just ask me names?
Yeah, absolutely. Every single fucking one.
Steve, Joe, and Bob.
Well, come on,
Yeah, I
that
was gonna
middle
say-
one has a different picture. He's
Yeah,
gotta
that's a
have a
brat-
name in the book.
That's a brass dragon, Merc.
All right,
No, you ask. It goes Sci-Fi Steve.
got it. Well, sci-fi. Should I just call you sci-fi?
Sure.
Oh my lord.
Are there just the three of you here, or is more of your platoon in that building?
Yeah, we were moving to back up another one of our troops, and we got caught by this crowd. They were already protesting, and we just got surrounded.
Yes, well, this whole cordon is difficult for all of us, but I don't think any of us want there to be bloodshed today or here. Why don't
Yeah,
you just
you're right.
continue on your way?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. He looks at the other two, and they start to pile out. With they do cool tactical hand gestures.
So
Look like
cool.
They look like baseball umpires. But yeah, as they start to move out, Sci-Fi leans in and he says, "Hey, if you run into any trouble with any of the Sunrise Collective, let me give you the daily password. That might help you out."
Oh, thank you.
Oh yeah, daily password.
I'm sure it won't be an issue. You gentlemen seem quite reasonable. But I'd appreciate it all the same.
He looks at you as if that's not something he's used to hearing, which he probably isn't used to hearing. And he goes, "Thanks. We're just looking out for the best of Asanatown. You understand?"
I understand. It's just the transition has to be gentle.
Right.
Meanwhile, Gur in the crowd is just kind of leaning to people like, who are these strangers think they are?
So
Grr, stop helping.
he delivers unto you the daily password for the Sunrise Collective, which is
Swordfish?
sunspots.
Oh, alright.
Check that out.
I do. I
Wow,
objected.
it's better than password, I guess.
Yeah, it's true.
Sunspots
but
1, 2, 3.
It's better than password by a factor of 1.
Right?
Yeah.
Have you considered replacing some of those O's with zeros?
How do you say that out loud?
Sunsp 0. Tss.
Suns zero.
Yeah, that's what I
Anyway.
just said.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, well, it looks like you have successfully navigated the riot scenario with no casualties.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Maybe we'll feel bad when we do eventually have to fight these guys.
You'll
I won't.
see.
Nope, not at all. Just
Alright.
Harald.
Boop-a-doop-a-doo, boop-a-doo. Gathering people up for reasons.
Reasons? Oh no.
Raisins.
For reasons.
Raisins?
Yeah, for
Raisins
reasons.
sound nice.
I like raisins. Some
You know, yeah,
people, some
I like a
people
good
get
raisin.
upset when they think it's chocolate chips and instead it's raisins. I feel the opposite way.
You
Fact.
know, I can deal with it, but I'm like, the bigger deal for me is I don't like it when I expect one flavor and I get a different flavor.
Yeah.
You know, like when you get one of those restaurant mints, and you're like, oh, peppermint, and you pop it in, and it's cinnamon.
Those monsters.
Yeah, it's
like
one of
once,
those things.
Once you realize what it is, it's not bad, but the transition is uncomfortable.
Yeah, your brain's like, I'm about to taste peppermint, and then it's like cinnamon. And it's like, oh no,
That ain't peppermint.
ah, get me out of here. All right, so once you're clear of the gathered crowd, the Sunrise Collective soldiers are able to move on, undisturbed by the audience, which Herald was so deft at, I guess, enamoring to his cause. Terra suggests that you maybe find a different street to take, so you're going off the map. Either way, as you proceed along through kind of these smaller side streets, you wind up at what appears to be another gathering. This one is a lot less riotous in nature. The scene that you find yourselves in pow! Does anybody see anything?
Yeah, we see lots
Yes.
of things.
Indeed, I do.
Okay,
Yep.
got it. So you're coming into what kind of looks like a cul-de-sac sort of situation. But what's happening here is there's a lot of gathered residents, this time all Lashunta. They're watching what appears to be a family of Kasathans that are being forcibly removed from their home. There's a female Kasathan currently being restrained by a Sunrise Collective soldier, and a male Kasathan currently struggling with one of them, while their child is off to the side crying. There is a Brass Dragon soldier going in and out of their apartment, tossing belongings out of the door onto the street. As you observe the crowd of Lashuntan residents that are watching this happen, there's a mixture of emotions, right? Some of them are all for what's happening because they support the Sunrise Collective. Others are giving mild protest because they're not armed, and these guys they look like they're from a military unit. You guys can't see any of this stuff on the map, can you?
I think if we move a bit closer.
There we go. So yeah, some of the Lashunta are even going into the street to pick up the belongings that are being tossed there by the Brass Dragon soldier. Nobody's having a good time. Everyone's pretty upset.
Oh dear. Options.
Gets ready for Herald to do something stupid.
Herald looks back and forth from the crowd and the Kasathan and the soldier. He will, against his better judgment, rush up to the soldier.
Yeah, I figured.
Caitlin's like saw it coming. As you're moving up, the Sunrise Collective soldier actually rifle butts the Kasathan, and as they're staggering backwards, he'll reach forward and pull off his face mask.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
This draws protests from the crowd, as well as some jeers and some laughter from the supporters.
Not cool.
Also, Mouse is gonna see somebody trying to take like the stuff that had been tossed out onto the street, and she's just gonna kind of move in between. She's gonna like, stand on top of the stuff and then just kind of
Look down at that person like, excuse me, I don't think that's yours.
That gets the Sunrise Collective soldier's attention, and he turns, noticing that Herald is approaching him. Herald, he aims at you and says, "Is this your freak or something?"
We just had a few questions for you. We just want to double check where this Kasathan is being relocated to.
We're taking them to the checkpoints for processing.
Ah, yes, as I thought. I'm afraid that I was sent to take them there ourselves.
Ooh.
I will get in
That's
close.
a big lie.
That's a
You're not-
huge ass lie, honey.
You're
Kaylin
not-
is like sneaking around like behind the crowd, getting under this tree in case she needs to magic some bitches.
Do you have? Okay. I assume that what's your guy's name again? You've become them. To Christie?
To Christie, yes.
To Christie, yes. Does To Christie have the Sunrise Collective soldier's outfit on?
Would Harald have thought of that? He would not have thought of that.
We didn't say he was.
However,
We
I will quietly say the code word to the soldier.
Okay. Throw me a bluff check.
Got it. This is an outright lie. You're 100% right about that.
This is 100% a lie. Ooh.
That's a 16 for the audience at home.
Oh no.
It's a 16.
Oh no.
So, at this, he just kind of, you said you mentioned the Sunspot password as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He just kind of looks you up and down, and he takes the face mask and tosses it kind of over near Kaylin, so as far away from the Kasathan as he can. The Kasathan, by the way, has both two of his hands clasped over his face, and he's looking up in terror at this man. The man addresses you and he says, "How did you get that password?"
I am a known associate of the collective. I've worked with them in the past.
I don't buy it.
Takristi raises an eyebrow. Buy it or not?
He raises his gun at you and says, "Back off. I'll speak to my superiors, the ones that I know."
Am I amongst a group of supporters or dissenters?
These, it's kind of hard to tell. You imagine probably 80% supporters, honestly.
Okay.
in that particular
I'm gonna try a
location.
different tact.
Mhm.
Takristi backs off obligingly, but
Mhm.
turns to the crowd of supporters and says,
Oh dear.
"Ladies and gentlemen, I understand that we have to remove these unsavory elements from our town, but there is a proper way that this should be done. These two gentlemen are betraying the collective and are going outside of the norms."
This is exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah.
These two are planning to bring them to their own hideout instead of the designated area.
Oh, did you say that to the crowd?
Yeah,
Is that a bluff? That's a bluff.
it's also a lie, yes.
Okay, throw me a bluff. Let's see how convincing that is.
Uh-oh.
Meanwhile, Kaylin's over here like just
That is a
getting
nat
ready.
1.
Which still
Oh
ends
my
up being
God.
a 12. But that is a 1. So, the crowd looks a little confused at that. They don't seem
really care where they go.
they don't seem moved to act on that. Who does seem moved to act, however, is this guy who approaches up behind you and he says, "I said get out of here," and he tries to hit you with his rifle.
Alright, why don't we just roll
Oh, he
initiative then?
does. Yeah. I guess. I've been getting ready to
Don't
magic
worry.
missile him though.
Don't worry, he misses. He misses, so it's embarrassing. He's apparently really super mad. Okay, so we're gonna roll initiative. Let me bring up the tracker. Boom.
Oh, we also need some killer battle music, I think.
Yeah, I got
Ooh,
like
yeah.
18, I got 18 things to do over here.
Yeah, that'll happen.
All right,
I fixed roll 20.
you fixed roll 20.
Was it broken?
Oh, it was
Yeah,
like there was always a delay whenever she had to roll anything.
Yeah, it was because my last pass extension was trying to fill all the form fills on my sheet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had that problem. Maybe I blacklisted roll 20 on last pass.
Okay. Mal's still looking for your initiative.
Oh, sorry. One moment.
That's fine.
I feel like we're missing one, but it's just Nenden.
Yeah, right.
Oh, our best.
The hole that he has left in our hearts and in our party composition.
Hey, we'll be okay.
Just got the envoy on the front lines. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal there, right?
Fine. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Everything is totally fine. Why didn't it give me? Hold on one sec. Okay, there we go. For some reason, it wasn't giving me the. It wasn't saving the numbers on the initiative for these guys. It just cleared it out again. What the devil?
It's odd.
This stream is sponsored by Roll20.
Oh, we wish.
Hey, sponsor us.
I don't know. Then we can't like talk shit about them.
That's
I do
true.
believe you.
We would have to only say nice things.
I do believe you just closed the initiative window.
Oh, you did. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so it has become clear, Gur, that this is not going to be resolved peacefully. So I would like you to take a turn.
Well, using his newfound feat of quick draw, he swiftly produces one of the assault hammers that we acquired last time around.
Sure. I forgot to bring that up, by the way. Our party leveled up between episodes, so our group is actually now level 2.
Yeah.
By the by.
Oh yes. Not squishy anymore. Here. Oh boy. Yeah.
Or at least not as squishy, right?
I am definitely still squishy. So produces hammer. What do these guys over here next to the other two Kasathas appear to be doing?
The Ifrit, not the Ifrit, the Ifrit, who was just previously tossing out like collector's editions, DVDs, and that sort of thing, has emerged from the house with his weapon drawn because it sounded like trouble was happening. And boy, was he right.
Oh, fantastic.
This guy, up until now, had been restraining the female Kasatha, you assume the child's mother, but he's got his hands off of her now, and he's reaching for his gun.
Okay. I have an idea. Gur is gonna come up to here. But as he does, during his move action, he's also going to produce his spanner.
Mm-hmm.
And as he does, and he walks up to the Kasatha, not up to the Kasatha, but kind of between the Kasatha and this other guy, and he kind of just puts his big club in this guy's hands and says, "What you do with this is up to you." And then turns and takes a huge swing at this guy right in front of him. Does Gerald have a?
Him?
No, with his hammer in his other hand.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So quick draws with his swift action, his hammer, and then as he's moving, he draws his club from his back and gives it to the Kasatha.
Gotcha.
But now here comes the attack. Oh man, that is a 18 on the die, 23 to hit for 8 damage to this guy who's trying to beat up on my friend.
Oh my gosh. Well, as it turns out, that hits. You might not believe it. You might not believe your eyes.
A 23.
You whack him good. Here, let me display what these particular foes look like to the group, so that the viewers in the audience can see what the party is contending with.
Man, that's a badass looking Ifrit.
Yeah, the Ifrit's pretty rad looking. So, yeah, you all up him
I want
good.
his gun.
You just hit him in the back of the head. Is that what you're aiming for?
Oh, absolutely, trying to knock him unconscious.
Oh yeah, it doesn't quite do the job, but yeah, there's blood already. There's a pretty gross crunching sound when the hammer makes its impact.
You're damn right.
So, Kalen.
Gur letting out a roar in honor of Ninden, who is currently missing.
Yeah.
Oh
no.
One at each. So.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3.
Got it.
2 damage to the first one, 3 to the second one, and 5 to the one that Gur just hit.
Okay. Oh wow, you did 5 to him? Okay, so that was actually exactly how many hit points were left on that guy. So why don't you tell me what happens to this gentleman over here?
Oh, with the mind bullets, let's see. Gur just smacked him with a hammer, turns him around to face Kalen, and she just puts one of her mind bullets right through his eye.
Oh, jeez.
Is it
blowing out the back of his head?
Is it bad that I'm imagining the Kennedy assassination right now? Head snaps forward, head snaps back.
That is that's a very graphic. Holy cow, man.
Sorry.
Sorry, the voice behind Gur is in fact incredibly dark. I apologize, viewers.
Hey, me too. I some of us put on a better mask than others. Wow, he's super duper dead.
Technically, if that's exactly his HP, he should be just unconscious.
Is that true? Is that how that works?
Yeah, if you're at 0, you're unconscious and stable.
I thought that was just a player thing.
I mean, they're baddies. Technically, you could roll it however you want for them. Yeah.
Gur is not going to save him one way or another.
You're not sure if he's alive. You would not be surprised if he was dead in his current state. Yeah, these are the people you're rolling with, Gur. It looks like they're straight up murderers, but I guess so are you. So hey.
I was gonna say, when he sees like the mind bullets and Kalen kind of like standing there, having been the origination point, he just kind of looks at her and gives her an understanding nod, and a bit of a grin kind of cracks across his face.
Yeah. This soldier, the one that was previously restraining the Kasathan woman, shouts, "Jerry, no!"
God damn it.
Had to give him a name.
Jerry seems like a name,
It does.
Gur does a 16. Sorry, does a 15 hit your KAC?
My KAC?
Right.
No, it does not.
Wow.
It deflects off of my new plate armor that I've picked up.
Yeah, from the Breath of Embers on your most recent journey.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, weird pirate guys.
Yeah, so he lets off a shot, which, you pay for Sirenscape. You should probably use it. Let me see. What do we got here? Let's go with it's a hunting rifle, and it plinks off of your armor.
Yeah, it does.
Still sounded relatively menacing.
At this, like guns have gone off. Somebody got hit in the head with a hammer. There's magic shooting out. Like the crowd is starting to definitely disperse. They're really not okay with being around when this starts going down. Nobody wanted this. But yeah,
Hashtag nobody wanted this.
he moves to take cover behind this trash receptacle here, and they'll go ahead and move out of the way as well. The Ifrit,
Ooh, what does he do?
being he was closer to Kaylin, so he saw her shooting shit, and he's a little bit more threatened by that, so he's going to go ahead and level his laser rifle at her.
Bring it.
I'm gonna guess that is a miss. Does an 11 hit your EAC?
No.
I didn't figure it did, so he takes a shot. And misses Kaylin, the shot impacting one of the nearby buildings.
Womp.
And he will also move back with his friend here. Bringing us to Mouse.
All right. So Mouse is going to
Believe you don't have your weapon drawn currently, so.
Oh. Yeah, I guess not.
Mouse does not like the idea of these guys over by the other Kasatha, with no one in between them.
So, she's gonna take out her dueling sword as she runs.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
And go, let's see, one moment.
It's that moment when everyone realizes that Mouse is a ninja. She's been a ninja this whole time.
This whole time.
She's gonna run up to this guy and stab him,
Okay.
or at least, yeah, slash him. Keep his attention focused this way and not on the Kasatha that are trying to get away. Oh, hey, by the way, tag.
Let's see an attack roll.
So you don't have the bonus for this one since you didn't have a chance to focus him?
Yeah, I know.
Oh no.
Oh, she only rolls a 9, but hopefully she's annoying.
Definitely surprising. This attack. I don't think anybody expected a gnome to whip out
a dueling sword and
I
attack
gotcha.
an Ifrit. Yeah.
I got you, Gur. I heard that one. So, yeah, the sword clinks off of his armor, and he just looks down at you like, "What the hell?" Like,
and Mouse is looking up at him like, I'm a big tough, like.
Yeah, what you gonna do about it? Huh?
All right, that brings us to Herald.
I think you skipped the bad guy.
Oh, that's the one that's down on the floor right now.
Oh.
He doesn't get a turn.
He
He's
doesn't get a turn,
unconscious.
Yeah, so Herald was like starting to get a bit nervous as that guy advanced on him, and then suddenly he just like fell over dead with a star bullet through his head. Kaylin blew a plume of smoke from her finger. Herald looks.
I will accept this action. Yes.
Herald looks gratefully towards his partner, but sort of worriedly around the rest of the crowd. He will dash towards the cover of those plants while giving some covering fire to Mouse, firing at the Ifrit. Please hold. So yeah, I'm just, instead of going for damage, I'll go for covering fire.
Okay. What does the covering fire action do, and what is the target AC?
Target AC is 15. I'm probably not going to hit that, so let's roll and then I'll talk about it if I succeed.
Okay.
I failed. Thank heavens, we don't have to talk about it.
Got it. Yeah, so Herald, it's a laser pistol, right? Yeah.
Yep.
It takes a shot after moving into cover behind these bushes. One of these strategically placed greens that I had mentioned before exists throughout Asanatown. Bringing us to Gur. You notice that the Kasatha who you gave the hammer to, initially he was furious enough about the indignity of having his face mask removed that it looked like he might attack. But after he saw you just waylay this guy with your hammer, his abhorrence of violence takes him again, and he just looks at the hammer, the wrench that you gave him, and just drops it.
Okay.
He doesn't want to fight.
That's fine. I'll leave it where it is and just run over here.
Gur, is that guy dead?
I don't know.
You're the only one with medicine.
It'll take a little bit longer to do a medicine check.
Yeah, he's got more pressing things on his mind. While he does have medicine, he's more interested in defending these people. So here comes my other attack, flanking buddies. Oh boy, that's a 13 on the die, making it an 18 plus 2 is 20 to hit.
You
9
might
damage.
You might believe that is a success because it is. Who are you? You're attacking the brass dragon soldier.
Yes, flanking buddies.
You give him a real good whack. You guys are just too effective.
And I lean around him and give Mouse a thumbs up.
Mouse shoots you a thumbs up back.
I'm sure he appreciates that. That brings us back to Kaylin.
Alright, Kaylin will run up to the guy whose head she just blew out and attempt to do a stabilize. Just get that.
Oh.
No, it doesn't have anything in there.
You can stabilize from range, right?
No, stabilize is touch. I think. Pretty sure.
Stabilizes 25 feet per 2 level.
Oh. Well, then I will stabilize from this tree.
There you go.
That leaves me with a move action that I don't really need.
Toss the lotion to his face mask.
Oh, the Kasatha, you mean?
Kasatha.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You have the same problem I do. Kasatha, Lashunta, they're just alien race names that they're
Same
not
number of
good.
syllables, yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
well, I'll shift to the other side of this tree so that I'm out of Harald's line of sight there.
There you go.
And that'll be it.
Okay. This soldier finds himself with a largish orc next to him.
Large-ish.
Okay, he's a pronk and huge orc. Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Recognize.
half orc. He'll drop his hunting rifle and draw a long sword, which he has on his person. You can see it in the art. It's there. And he will take a swing. Ooh, that's a 15 on the die. I can guarantee that's going to be a hit.
A 15 KAC?
No, 15 on the die,
Oh, damn.
which means that it's a 20
Damn.
to hit KAC.
Okay. No, it doesn't hit. I say.
Gur, you take 7 slashing damage as the longsword bites into your armor.
Gur bites back at the longsword.
It's a
Super
reaction.
effective.
Half-orcs get to bite. There you go. So the brass dragon, he was initially going to, he had it in his head that he was just going to punt the gnome, you know. He was in the middle of also drawing his longsword. However, he got whacked real hard from behind, so he draws his sword and whirls around to try and bring that sword to bear on Gur. And that is a 11 KAC, which I think we have established as a miss. So
We have
it
indeed.
just kind of rebounds off of Gur's.
Yeah, I like to imagine Gur was able to actually kind of parry it if it was solo.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
He ain't no fool. He's familiar with close combat.
Mouse, the person you attempted to engage, is now distracted and currently does not look like he's doing very well. His side has taken a very large hammer hit.
Well, here's the thing. Mouse doesn't really get up close combat much. She's gonna
But the
engage
flanking.
over. Okay, well, yes, but she's going to engage her designated target, which I believe takes is that a move action or
Yes,
a...
move action.
Oh, good, yes. So she's going to engage.
All right, Serendipity, engage.
And then she's going to try and stab him again, but with improved ability.
Okay.
Serendipity, where should I stab? Right here, mouse.
Just to ask, are you attempting to attack in a non-lethal fashion, or are you not worrying yourself with that?
Nah, Kellen will get him.
Okay.
17
Oh, yes.
for
Oh,
4
did Twi-
damage.
Did Twitch crash? Are we still broadcasting?
Oh.
Yeah,
I
it looks
can-
fine.
I can end and reconnect.
It.
Mine looks okay.
Oh, maybe he
Yeah.
just means like his Twitch.
His Twitch, yeah, that might be. I was just concerned. I wanted to make sure.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, mouse.
Yes. We're
that,
fine.
That absolutely connects. And
Yeah!
what kind of attack are you doing on this guy with your sword?
She's gonna do a fancy sort of butterfly, like over the shoulders, woo, whoosh, 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 slash. Yeah, let's do a slash.
Like a diagonal?
Yeah, across his
Okay.
back.
Okay. So Mouse doesn't like fight a whole lot, right?
No, not really.
This is
She's
probably
relatively new to the whole meat space thing.
yeah. So this is probably something she's done in like VR games and stuff.
Yeah.
So she can be all fancy free and stuff. However, what ends up happening is her sword actually sinks into the side of this guy's neck.
Oh god.
Or right where the lats are, and it cuts down, probably as deep as his shoulder blade. And he kind of staggers for a moment, blood gushing from the wound before he just collapses. It's very clear that this man is incredibly dead from Mouse's attack.
Oh no.
All right, calm down, Aaron Yeager.
All right, which will bring us to Herald.
Herald will advance up to within 30 feet of Gur, sort of creeping along the wall of this building, and say, Gur,
Oh my god, I have an idea. I'm sorry, real quick. Serendipity goes doo-doo-doo-doo. Congratulations,
Yes.
Mouscolini. You've killed your first person. And there's like, little like fireworks and shit and stuff.
Grim.
Oh no.
Why?
Oh boy.
Mouse's
Serendipity's a murder hobo.
the tip of Mouse's sword kind of droops.
Oh.
I'm sorry, go back to what you were doing.
No, it was worth the stop.
It was worth a stop. Well, we'll deal with that mental trauma later. Gur, deal with that last, soldier, and, let's get out of here. And I'll give, Gur 7 stamina, I believe, is the number of the day.
I think Mouse needs an inspiring boost currently.
Yeah, she does. Inspiring boost for mental trauma.
Yes. I think we established that we can't do that in the last session.
I just want to know when you're going to start making us roll insanity checks.
This ain't called Cthulhu. But I might homebrew it. Alright.
That's my turn.
I'll be back to Gur.
Alright, Gur is just going to turn and grin and full attack this guy.
Alright, fish for that 20.
I'm not fishing. Okay, maybe I. Darn. That's a 6 for the first attack, but a 16 for the second attack.
Yeah, so watching his probably not friends. You don't imagine that these people are friends. They're just coworkers. Watching his coworker become a floppy, ribbony version of himself before collapsing in a bloody heap. He's surprised, but he's ready for a follow-up attack. Your first hammer, he just kind of steps out of the way of. And he tries to bring up his sword to block against your second attack, but you weave right underneath the parry, and you crunch him real good in the side with your hammer. dealing 5 damage. But he is still standing.
Gur
Kaylin.
just kind of grins.
Well, I guess I'll throw a stabilize at that other one that they just knocked down in hopes that he's not quite dead yet. And yeah. I'm not gonna give flanking or anything, so I will I'll use my move action to pull out my ion tape to start tying these guys up when they are done, myrtleating them.
Okay. Is that your turn?
That's it. That's all I've got.
Okie dokie. We're gonna go back into combat with Gur here. So he's just been hit, and things are looking kind of desperate for him. So he's going to start trying to turn things to his favor, responding with a full attack of his own. Oh, that is such a miss. Let's see here. That, however, I believe is a 20 KAC.
Hits.
Oh no.
Please receive 8 damage from the Sunrise Collective to you. Slashing. In the form of slashing.
Gur kind of grits his teeth a little bit, but no blood appears to produce from the rather shallow wound. No health damage has been taken yet, but he grits his teeth and there's a fire in his eyes now.
Yeah, it's this is superficial damage, so it's entirely plausible that he just damaged the armor in a way that could be fixed between fights.
Fair.
Or whatever. What have you. Okay, that will bring us back to Mouse.
Oh. Mouse puts away her sword and takes out her gun. and
Is that 2 move actions that way?
That
or is
that
it
would
one?
be 2 move actions. If she dropped her sword and then pulled out her gun, it would be
Okay, yeah, she can. Yeah. She drops the sword kind of
the
shakily.
bloody sword.
Yeah, and lifts her gun and says,
Serendipity. Designate target.
and then sort of shouts, "Don't make me use this!"
Oh, Mouse.
All right, I believe that brings us to Herald.
As the GM just squeals in delight.
Oh, it's so good. I love it.
Look, Serendipity is an amoral creature. She is very, very young and very, very new. She didn't know that this would happen.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't know like fleshy creatures have mental trauma. She doesn't have mental trauma.
I decompile programs like myself all the time. What's wrong with it?
Harold will take a shot at this remaining guy, fishing for 20s.
Fishing for 20s. We're doing a full round attack?
No, just a normal one.
Oh, okay.
Those are hard enough. See?
You're
Oof.
bad at fishing.
You could have rolled 2 die. That's a 9 for the podcast.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just figured that any of our listeners assume that Harold doesn't hit with guns.
That's kind of on brand. Man, that art I drew for the Survival Deathmatch Extreme could not be more accurate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know why I have this.
Yeah.
I like to think that he took the shot and then looked over his shoulder at Kaylin and actually said that. He just takes a shot. Oh, hold on, I should call.
Free action shrug.
He's just like,
Asks.
I don't know why I have this. Like he's just like talking to her over her shoulder.
Meanwhile, she's like pulling ion tape out of her backpack and someone looks up at him and like, I don't know, man.
All right, that brings us back to Gur.
He's gonna, having just narrowly dodged Herald's shot, kind of like shoot him a look and then turn to make 2 more full attack, or another full attack rather.
Okay.
Oh yes, a 17 to hit and then a 16 to hit.
Those both hit. So, please explain to me how this man dies.
Oh yeah, I would love to. So Gur turns back to this guy and he just nails his head to the wall with this hammer, and then as he falls down, he just kind of smashes his head into a little bit of bloody paste, so Kalen can't actually heal him. And then, hold on, we're not done here. Gur then turns and with an intimidation check, starts yelling at the crowd.
Oh God.
You're all weak! You want to support these people who just want to turn out honest folk and banish them from their lives. How dare you! And he's just, like, enraged. And that's a 21 intimidation check for those of you who can't see.
Oh yeah. So anybody who was straggling at this point has fled the scene. At this point, let's see here. Everything kind of falls to an eerie silence. With Gur's scream, it kind of marks the end of combat. The cul-de-sac is very clear of people except for the Kasathan family and the 2 corpses and 1 stabilized individual in the middle of the street.
That last one definitely didn't get a turn before I stabilized him.
Huh?
That last one definitely didn't get a turn before I stabilized him. Unless he took massive damage from Gert's attack.
Oh, you mean so does that change whether stabilize works or not?
Well, if you're not dead, stabilize works.
Well, he went down to 0 hit points.
Right, and you don't die until it comes back around and you have no resolve.
Right, yeah, no. This individual here, let's see.
Did he take his HP and damage after he dropped to 0?
No.
Then he did not die.
No. These 2, however, are quite dead. The 2 next to Gur and Mouse are dead. This individual is simply unconscious.
So Harald will rush over to one of the Kasathans, maybe the clothed one, because they're likely to be less embarrassed.
She's terrified of you.
Do you have... all right, well, I'll noticing this, I'll, like, stay a step back. Do you have somewhere nearby that you can hide?
We'll have to hide. We don't have a choice now.
I know. I'm asking if you have somewhere nearby, so a friend who you can stay with.
We don't have friends anymore. Please, just leave us alone.
Not everyone in the city feels this way.
But who am I supposed to trust?
People who... I met... the people who were jeering at you, did you think they were your friends before? Or were they...
Some of them. At least they weren't this bad before.
Yes.
And her child is starting to cry even louder now. This gentleman moves over to where his mask was cast aside, and he goes to pick it up.
I'll wave over to what's her name, the Lashunta lady. Takrishi is my name. Teres is her name. Got it.
Yeah, she'll lots of T's going on here.
Yeah.
And Takrishi is very close to Takrit, which has thrown me off a couple of times. But yeah, no. She comes over looking sheepish. Obviously not a fan of violence, but...
Teresh, could they stay in your apartment just for maybe a day while we sort this out? Just to get them off the streets?
This man, after affixing his mask, will move over and say, "That's not necessary. I'll take care of my family. Please just go."
Takrishi looks frustrated, but after a moment nods. And looking at the rest of his crew, we continue on. And we probably don't have time to loot the bodies, do we?
I taped this one up.
No, we absolutely loot the bodies. What are you talking about?
All right, you guys can do that while I was
The first
having
one
this
I
meaningful
stabilized,
conversation.
I taped up, and then I went to inspect the other 2. Kayla sort of shakes her head, realizing that they're completely dead and we're fucking screwed.
So, Harold, since you're
Mouse.
frustrated at the situation, can I get a sense motive that might help bring some context to their response?
Sure.
Well, yeah.
It's a 19.
Okay. That's good enough. You get the intent. You get the impression that these are a peaceful group. You know that Kasathans have a tendency to be very traditional and spiritual, and it appears that they are given to nonviolence, and they're very upset about how this has turned out, and that their child just watched 2 people die today.
Yeah, well, that's roughly what I expected. I'm not happy about it either.
So you can imagine. They join together, and it looks like they are just going to leave. After getting some of their belongings that are on the streets, something sentimental to maybe help calm their child with before they take off. So I assume, Gur, that you would like to know what loot is available, and I will give that to you on the break. It's nothing better than what you have, so don't worry about it for now.
Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna make the audience listen to this.
Yeah. But Mouse, it sounded like you wanted to do something. I apologize.
Oh, Mouse picks up her sword,
Mm-hmm.
wipes it off almost mechanically. She knows how to take care of weapons because she memorized that book. And she puts the sword away, and then she just kind of sits on a piece of discarded broken furniture and just sort of stares off into space while everything else happens.
Noticing this, Gur will approach her and just kind of put a hand on her shoulder, silently, and just kind of, after a second, say, "You did well." And then he walks
Is that
up.
what she needs to hear right now?
Yes, it's exactly what Gur thinks she needs to hear right now.
Sad.
Is anybody else going to interact with the sad mouse in the corner?
Harold can take a shot. After the 3 Kasathans start to walk away, Harold turns around to take to assess the state of his team and sees Mouse sort of like staring despondently against the wall. He'll sidle over and kneel to her eye level and say, "Mouse, we didn't have much of a choice here. They attacked and you defended us."
No, I chased him down. And the Kasathan didn't even get to keep their stuff.
We've still done a good thing here. They would have been put into some sort of internment camp, and now they can find somewhere else to live.
This is gonna make things worse.
Not if we kick them out of the city.
Can't undo what we did, though. The kid still saw it.
And unfortunately, we've been seen.
We've been seen
Now
by the
they know
mob.
what we look like.
Harold shakes his head. We've been seen by the mob. They won't be able to remember our faces accurately. And the 3 soldiers who may have been able to, I don't think will.
But they know that there's a group with a Lashunta and a gnome and a half-orc. We can't all show up together in the same places anymore.
I think.
And then now that she has a problem, she starts working through it, and that's how she decides to distract herself.
Now how many combinations are likely to elicit that sort?
And she starts doing combinatorics in her head, and it calms her somewhat.
Is it like a light switch? Like her demeanor just immediately changes?
No, it's more like a shift in gear.
Okay.
Seeing this, Harold will grab her hand and help her stand up, and look around at the rest of his team and say, "All right, let's move."
What do you want to do with that one?
Oh, he's not dead, is he?
No.
tie him up, put him somewhere where he won't be found too quickly. Give him a water bottle. So we'll stash him in a some sort of closet, some sort of yeah.
Maybe the house they were just cleaning out.
Oh, perfect. Yes, perfect.
Just put him in the house that they just
we'll drag him
evicted
into the house and
from.
put him in a closet, tie him up, put a water bottle
There you
next
go.
to him.
There you go. Okay.
Ger's gonna write condemned with his big red marker on the door.
Perfect.
Okay. So, let me gather you all up once more. That went about as I expected it to go, I'm going to be honest. The rest of this trip is going to take a little over 10 minutes, so if anybody would like to spend a resolve point to restore stamina, grr. Or maybe mouse.
I gave him his stamina back.
I
He
lost it again,
He,
though.
you know,
Oh, man.
you found his car keys and you just dropped them again.
Mouse didn't take any damage.
It's Skur's
Uh,
job to take damage. That's why he's such a meathead.
I think Mouse did take a little bit of damage. It looks like she's missing some stamina.
Oh, that's from the day before. I forgot to top her
yeah,
up.
get rid of that. You're fine. There's no damage.
Yeah, we all took a long.
Why not?
Yeah,
a
I
long
remember.
rest?
It was adorable.
She clearly had the cutest rest. Yes.
Nah, I don't think I'm gonna spend my resolve point yet.
Okie doke. After recovering from these events, you'll go ahead and continue your journey. Teres indicates that Laobu Station is not too far down the street from where you're currently at. As you approach an archway formed by two tall buildings on either side of the road, she points at the structure on the other side, saying, "There it is. That's the... What the... do?"
What is it? What is it?
As you observe what she's pointing at, you see what you imagine used to look like a normal police station at some point. However, in its current configuration, it looks more like a small fortress. Armored vans flank either side of a wall of temporary fortifications that block the road, and atop these fortifications is some form of razor wire. There are some guards posted to keep watch, and a decent crowd of different species are lined up, slowly moving forward through some hastily arranged fences that guide them to whatever form of treatment that's designated for them. There's litter on the ground here, discarded and smashed items, papers, marring the streets of this particular part of Asanatown, which, from your experience, tends to be fairly clean. But at the end of this maze of fences, you can see the police station proper. Guardhouses on either side of the road have closed, are on either side of the closed gate, where a lot of the people are lined up and waiting. Each guardhouse has one occupant that you can see through the windows, but you can't see exactly, you can't make faces, but you can see that they're there. And there's one Sunrise Collective soldier leaning against the guardhouse on the east side, looking on the other side of the fence, where you can see people being piled into a warehouse, this building over here. There's way too many soldiers on the other side. By any estimation, starting a fight out there would basically be suicide. You can hear off in the distance on the northern side of the police station as well. There's some sort of conflict going on. You can see plumes of smoke rising. It seems like maybe a bigger conflict has broken out in the distance. At this point, I believe it would be a good idea to take a break. Do you guys agree?
Before we
Absolutely.
do, I wanted to nudge Herald, like as we were leaving that last scene, and suggest that he change his clothes to look like those Sunrise Collective folks.
Oh, sure.
I suppose.
Might give you a little bit more leverage the next time you try to talk to one.
Yes, I'm just not one of them, and yes, fine. Although once we get to this building, I'll probably say it's probably a better idea to find out what this place is before I pretend to be someone who would already know. But I will keep your suggestion in mind after the break.
Okay. He says that to her.
And I look at the camera.
Break the fourth wall.
Kaylin's just like scratching her head. Break? What the fuck?
Gerald has a fourth wall sense.
Yeah, he's like Paulton from Dice Camera Action, which you guys don't watch, but hey. He gets to talk out of the fourth wall. He can reach beyond. Okay. With that, I believe we are going to go to break. 15 minutes. Chow down. Sample the facilities. Anybody else out there in TV land watching? If you would like to do the same.
Sample? Never mind.
Yeah. Either way, we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your break. Hope you enjoyed your bathrooms. I enjoyed mine.
I enjoyed my chicken leg.
Oh, you had a chicken leg?
It was good.
I had cheese. Not in the bathroom. I enjoyed the cheese separate from the bathroom. They were two separate experiences for me.
You could have multitasked.
Sure you did.
I could have, but I didn't. I chose not to. I'm very inefficient.
You're an adult. Do what you want.
Yeah, you know. When we left off, our heroes? Question mark?
We're definitely heroic.
Have just approached what used to, at one point, be just a police station. At this point, appears to have been transformed into a temporary military installment. A lot of the temporary walls and the window fortifications that you saw back at the line crawler station after arriving at Asanatown are utilized here as well. And a lot of similar vans to the ones that pulled up at the line crawler station are here. It seems like they have like a preferred method or a preferred brands that they use. But here you stand, and there's probably more people than the crowd I have on the map indicates, but you're surrounded by a sea of many different races that are currently being watched over loosely by a collection of guards. There's guards behind you as well that are making sure nobody tries to run, but you feel like there are no eyes actively on you at this moment.
Okay. First, I think Takrishti is going to sort of talk with the crowd up front to try to get a feel for what the heck this place is and what's even going on here. And I'll urge the rest of my party to sort of stay back. Just let me be a Lashunta, yeah.
It could be because you're a Lashunta in the crowd, though there are some other Lashuntas in the crowd. It appears that this is for any dissidents, not just non-Lashunta, but anybody who is not aligned with the Sunrise Collective might also be rounded up here.
Wait,
undesirables.
I'm confused. I'm a little confused. So this like crowd of people, they're not just waiting outside the doors. They're like surrounded by troops.
Yeah, you're basically being corralled towards this this gate that's in front of you, and on the other side are more people that appear to be being guided into a warehouse. It's just right now you're at a checkpoint. In fact, there's a sign above the gate in front of you that says Checkpoint Laobu.
I see. Okay. So it's sort of too late to pretend to be a soldier because we're already sort of surrounded by soldiers?
Not necessarily. You were able to blend in with the crowd because the amount of aliens here is large enough. So you could pretend to be a soldier. You would just be like coming out of the crowd.
Easy mode. We pretend we're aliens.
Pretend.
Yes, in air quotes, pretend. They're gonna usher us all in anyway because we're undesirables, you know?
Sure, I'm worried about what
Just go
happens
along with it.
in later. All right. I'll take Kalen's.
But you could be a guard though to like sort of watch our backs.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'll take Kalen's idea, and while maybe given cover by the rest of the team, I'll like change my outfit and my face and my antenna length and all that good stuff to look
Sure.
like like maybe one of those dead soldiers. That's
Wait
not
for it,
creepy.
wait for it.
Uh-huh.
These are the undesirables that killed our soldiers in that cul-de-sac back there. I captured them single-handedly.
Gur holds up a towel so Simon can change.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This can work. I mean, I don't think that like your faces would have escaped this readily, but sure.
Yeah. Mouse is gonna look at the checkpoint and be like,
You know, I bet they've got a lot of systems inside that I could do a lot too if I could just get to a computer terminal connected to their system.
Teres, while all of this is going on, is looking at her comm unit and she shakes her head. Looking at the crowd on the other side of the gate, she goes, "No, this isn't right. The message Nib said she's being held inside the station."
Not in the warehouse?
No.
Well, we'll have to get in there then. So it looks like all the people on the other side of this gate are being ushered into the warehouse, and there's no doors into the station from the other side of the gate?
Not that you can see. However, you do
There's
see
a
that there is a door into the station right here, yes. To your east.
Yeah.
I would like, actually, if I could get some perception checks.
Oh,
Heck yeah!
No! I only got a 12.
rolled with a 20.
Why?
Mouse gets a 19.
Ooh, girl with a 2.
Gur has a 2. This soldier is not very perceptive.
Well, I guess I'm better than Gur anyway.
You know, like most soldiers, they don't pay attention, they're never vigilant, right? Anyway, the Herald and Mouse, while you're observing the outside of the station, you notice many security cameras, which on the map are indicated by this here. There's one contemptibly recording this very door that you would like to sneak into. You do get the impression that you might be able to sneak under it as it sweeps one direction, but it might be a little challenging.
I mean,
How challenging.
I don't necessarily need to if I'm undercover as a soldier.
But Mouse could sneak. Or...
Kalen, how's your sneak? How sneaky are you?
I'm alright.
However, it occurs to you that if one person sneaks up under the camera, they might have to disable it, which might require some sort of knowledge of engineering or...
Yeah.
Well, I could do it. I could do that.
All right.
No one would have to
Don't
die,
get-
and I could do that.
Don't get caught.
Worst comes to worst, they put me inside.
Okay. Mouse, I would like to get from you a stealth check.
All right.
Is this like in Pathfinder where smaller creatures get a bonus to stealth?
I think they removed that.
I think that's a Pathfinderism. I think you specifically get it from races now. So if it says that you get it, then you get it.
Okay.
All right. Well,
We can follow up and check on that later.
Yep. She's just gonna
stealth. Sneaky, sneak, sneak.
You can do it.
No! Oh, Mouse rolled an
dear.
8.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Goodness. You make it to about here. You think you've got the timing right. However, the camera swings and looks directly at you. You hear some commotion, and this guard steps out from the west. I guess it's the east guardhouse, but the guardhouse is located to your west. He steps out of the door and he looks over at you and says, "Hey, get away from the door."
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Like, get away from the door.
He motions to the others and says, "Keep an eye on that one."
no.
Harald will emerge from
Nudge,
the crowd
nudge.
as the soldier and say, "Yeah, I'll keep an eye on her."
They both look at
where-
each other and then they look at
Where
you.
did my
What's up, Mouse?
where did my token go?
Oh, you're over here. Boop.
Oop. Oh, there you are. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. There I am.
Okay. Aha, I got away. Whoop.
The two Sunrise Collective soldiers look at each other and then they look at you and they go, "Who are you?"
What do you mean? Who am I?
Uh-oh.
I'm
Steve!
Steve.
Oh, sci-fi.
Good old sci-fi Steve. That's me.
I thought you were out on patrol.
We ran across a couple hooligans over here. I was radioed in to bring them in for processing.
All right. I would like to receive a bluff check, if you are willing to give it.
I am willing
To
and
me.
eager.
While they're busy talking to him,
It's a 15.
can Mouse sneak away?
Sneak, sneak,
At
sneak.
least your disguise is good.
Give me another stealth check.
Mouse, your mod is a 4. Trying to sneak and failing is worse than not trying.
Harald says to Mouse.
Oh, 8 again.
Another 8. Where do you sneak to?
Back into the crowd?
Oh, well, then they're probably not even gonna care. They're gonna be like, why are you sneaking? That's where we told you to go.
This gnome is weirdly moving back to her place. Like, you can tell the crowd is starting to get uneasy because the tension is building a little bit here. Yeah, they don't really buy that. The two soldiers raise their guns and they say, "All right, who are you really? Drop the act."
There's no act. I just have a cold, so my voice sounds slightly off.
Does anybody have weapons visible on their person? I guess Gur probably would have a little bit of trouble hiding an assault hammer and a wrench.
Yeah, Kaylin probably put the static arc pistol like in her jacket or something.
Yeah,
That's
pistols
easy.
are easy
Used
to
it.
hide, but bigger
Yeah.
things are harder.
Like Mouse's assault rifle and her sword, for instance.
Yeah.
Reaction cam.
Did we engineering to make that the right size? We must.
So yeah, they start to notice that, like, they were only kind of paying attention to the crowd before because their day has been pretty standard. You know, the people come up to the checkpoint, they get their information, they put them through the checkpoint. But now they're noticing that you guys have weapons, and they're starting to they bark that out. They say, "Hey, they're armed! They're armed!" And you hear their weapons powering up.
Whoa. This is nothing weird is going on here, friends. I'm just
Kaylin
here.
just moves a little bit further away from the rest of the group.
I'm just trying to think of another lie.
It's gonna have to be a really good one.
Mouse starts thinking
Pulls
about.
Teres with her, actually.
Okay,
Mouse
sure.
is kind of looking for an exit route to run. She's going to run probably in the opposite direction of the rest of the group.
I've got a great one. I've got one that'll be
Okay.
very convincing, which is
Okay, lay
that
it on me.
you're right. I'm not sci-fi Steve, but I am a little sympathetic to your causes, and whisper to him that I've like infiltrated this group of insurgents so that I can learn who among them is going to be trouble. Perfect. Flawless.
Let's have another bluff check, please.
Absolutely.
Just for funsies.
There might be a penalty. Ooh.
Oh,
I
buddy.
rolled another 4 for a 15.
For a total of
Oh.
15.
Bluffing's
Okay.
hard when you roll bad.
At that point,
Put more in bluff, yeah.
one of them shouts, "Everyone get down!" and they level their weapons at you. I would like initiative rolls, please.
Oh, lovely. Rolled.
Everyone get down.
Oh,
Club
dear.
starts-
It's 16 for those of you listening at home.
Rolled with a 20.
Oh, boo.
Mouse with a 9.
Mouse beating Gur handily. Gur getting a 2. He was not ready. Gur hearing suddenly the guards yell out, "Get down!" drops instinctively.
I love it. Oh, gross. I mean, gross for you guys. Great for me.
Uh-oh.
Okay, do we have everybody's initiative in?
Yep, I count 4.
Looks like it. Okay, so we have Herald, who would be going first with a 20, a dirty 20, I believe. However, the brass dragon, who emerged from his guard station on the west side, appears more ready. Scanning the crowd, he notices a large half-orc with a hammer. And he will take a shot.
I am liking this music.
That's an 18 on the die, does a 24 hit your EAC, Gur.
Yes, it does. Even prone, it does.
That will be a 7 damage as a azimuth laser rifle bites into you.
Ugh.
Which will bring us to Herald.
Harold will make his way back. And, issue order and, tell Gur to take him out while changing form into a different Lashunta. Oh wait, no, that's a standard action. Can't do that.
Also, Gur did not elect to restore his stamina, so you cannot use Inspiring Boost on him again.
Ah, you're right, you're right. Well, I have no productive actions. I will delay. Let's delay.
Okay. In that case, Valen.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll bounce around Terrace and touch Mouse's rifle and say, "You can do this, Mouse. I believe in you." Woo! Giving her seeking shot so that she could ignore cover.
Ooh, very helpful.
Neat.
Let me put that in chat so that she can look at it.
Okay. We're back to the one closest to Herald. It's obviously most interested in hitting the person who raised his suspicions. So
Yeah. That suspicious motherfucker over there.
wanting to take care of this as soon as
Franker.
possible.
Great
There you
save, Simon.
You did it. High five. He'll take a shot, trying to hit 9 EAC, which I am positive is a miss somehow.
Pearl ducks with a woo.
It would have hit you in the head, but your tentacles dip. Oh, you're not in tentacle form. Never mind.
Yeah.
The Lashunta's head just splits in half as the
Oh God.
Oh no. Herald, would you like to take your turn, or would you like to continue delaying?
No, keep delaying.
Okay. Mouse.
All right.
I said all right without pressing the button. Okay.
So, Mouse will, using her thing,
With the stuff?
with a move action. Also,
Who is the spell to target? Kaylin?
I think it just allows you to make a
Oh.
shot that ignores cover.
The
No,
next
actu-
attack made with that weapon
against that
Oh,
target.
against that target.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I missed that part. I apologize. Let's do the one that just shot at Gur.
Yeah, I was
The-
gonna
the merc.
choose him too. Sounds good.
All right, Serendipity, designate target.
And she shoots.
For 10.
That ain't gonna do it.
No.
no, it almost hits him. It singes his armor. You think maybe if you rolled one higher, it would have hit.
Oh, also, don't forget to designate target.
Designate target?
Yep. The little gear for him.
Oh, right. My bad. Boop-a-doop-a-doo.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yep.
So,
In Mouse's vision, a little spanner icon
mhm.
has appeared above him, pointing directly down, and it kind of like bounces up and down, like ping, ping, ping.
And it's something only Mouse can see. Actually, Mouse, if I could grab a life science from you, I would like you to recall.
Ooh. Yeah.
Possible.
Mouse loves recalling shit. That's a 23. Where were you?
Much like the, what were they called? Oh shoot, I forgot the name of the race of the flame-headed individual you fought on Breath of Embers. Either way, you are
The Azer.
aware. Yeah, the
Fire
Azer,
dwarf.
Thank you so much. The Ifrit is similarly resistant to fire damage. So
Gosh
you
darn
suspect
it.
that your laser rifle might not hurt it very much.
Should I have grabbed that guy's hunting rifle? Man.
Hadn't really thought
Potential.
about that. By the way, laser pistols on that one, not gonna work so great, guys.
Okay. So that brings us to Red's turn here. Red being the Sunrise Collective soldier that has not acted. Let's see. I'm gonna roll a die to see who he targets. How's that sound?
Sounds random.
Mouse, he saw your gun go off, and I also rolled a 3, which is the number I assigned to you. So he's going to try to shoot you. Through
Okay.
the crowd.
Because of course they don't care about collateral damage.
Soft cover.
Not so much. Even with the soft cover, that would be a 17 KAC.
Oh yeah, that'll get me.
He will take a shot.
Just to
with
make sure we're not double figuring though. Soft
What's
cover
that?
doesn't change your result at all. It changes Mouse's AC.
Right. So, what does +4 do to Mouse's AC?
Oh. Let me see. Mouse's
And we're talking KAC?
Yes.
actually +4 would make it 18.
Okay. The soldier rolled a 16 on the dice, which puts his result at a 22.
that'll do it.
Ow. Yeah, that'll do it.
All right. So he takes a shot with his hunting rifle, dealing, let's see, 3 piercing damage as he shoots you through the crowd.
Ouch.
Back to, well, never mind. Gerald, would you like to act?
I mean, I could heal the 3, but that doesn't really seem worth it.
Not worth.
No.
Yeah,
I
can
can
Herald
shoot.
get move actions yet?
No, I'm a level 2 envoy. I don't take actions in combat.
Fantastic.
I can shoot someone with a pistol. Yeah, I'll just fire my pistol for fun. I fire my pistol
We'll see if he has a reason to have it.
in the general direction of blue.
Okay.
You're also within 30 feet. You could do an intimidate to shake,
Oh, yeah, alright.
or harrying fire,
Yeah.
or covering fire.
Ooh.
Ooh, alright, yeah, well, so harrying and covering fire are actually very difficult because 15 AC is unimaginably high.
Yeah,
this
at level 2, it's hard.
So
yeah.
instead, I'm gonna try to demoralize him. I'll say,
Okay.
I believe you're going to regret that.
Are you gonna do anything spooky with your
I'm
face when you do it?
Apparently not, because I got an 11.
Ooh, yeah, that's not gonna be enough to demoralize him. He just kind of looks at you like a weirdo.
Like, what do you
what?
mean you'll regret it? Why? I don't understand.
What's gonna happen?
I don't know.
I think this is gonna go great for me.
I'll dive for cover over here. Blend in with the crowd.
All right, that'll bring us to Gur.
Gur's gonna run over here, and by run I mean just kind of shift over.
He has his gun out, so.
No, wait, sorry. He stands up from prone here and then shifts
right.
in here, drawing his hammer.
Okay.
That's Gur's turn. I forgot he dropped.
He did literally hit the floor. Ooh, you guys, you haven't put any hits on these guys
Let
yet.
the bodies hit the floor.
You probably could use a entropic
Yes.
wizard who is also a large lizard.
Yeah, that'd be
in
good.
this circumstance. Okay, that
Hashtag
brings
Winston.
hashtag bring back Ninden. Brings us back to the brass dragon soldier. Upon seeing your response, your approach, he will cast aside his laser rifle and pull out his sword and try to hit you with it.
Let's do
Getting
that.
a 11 against your KAC, which is probably not gonna cut it.
Yeah, he uses his hammer to just knock the sword out of the way.
It literally doesn't cut it because it's a sword. Get it? All right.
Ooh.
Caleb.
Yay.
Well played, sir. Well, crud. I don't like these guys at all. I'll do a full round shooting stars from where I'm at. 1 at each, left to right, forward there. So 4 damage to the 3 to the first Sunrise Collective, and 2 to the second one. I summon little
Okay.
tiny suns and
So is it going from
Zing
left to
them
Hip
right?
to the hippity hop,
yes, left to right.
and the
Okay.
fun don't stop.
Okay. First bit of damage on the table from Caleb.
Woo.
Let's see here.
Don't need no dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is one of the best.
You
one of the
rolled
best
that.
spells at level 1. That's true.
I was
Die
gonna say,
were roll.
That's 9 whole damage spread across 3 people, albeit, but that's 9 whole damage.
Yeah, that's a really good spell. Guaranteed damage, no less. Okay. The rumor that they heard from one of their supporters who came rushing seems to indicate that you're the crew that took out a couple of the soldiers in a cul-de-sac not too long ago, because one of you, crazy blue hair lady, is shooting like magic projectiles, so they think they might have
Not.
the group.
I didn't see nothing. No one saw anything.
Okay.
No one saw anything.
Penguin gif.
Okay. It is time for Blue. He is going to spread out a little bit and going to try and keep shooting Herald. He tried to keep a bead on him.
But I'm prone and I have cover.
Oh, you actually you went prone?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does that do
well, I
to
can't do
your
that.
KAC?
It adds 4 to his AC against ranged attacks.
Right. And I think soft
And-
cover would apply in this situation,
It still would apply, yes.
which would add an additional 4.
Yep.
Yeah, Herald's really hard to hit right now.
What does that make your AC, Herald?
What does that make his
8?
alignment hiding
So-
behind some?
Plus 8 to 13 EAC is 21.
21.
KAC.
22.
Okay. Another shot rings out. It might actually hit an innocent bystander at this point.
Oh man. Alright, not worth.
Yeah, he fires into the crowd, missing Herald. Bringing us back
These
to
guys
Mouse.
are jerks.
But I think you're the resistance at this point, so.
Yeah.
Aren't
The
we?
resistance.
Which, I mean, technically you are. Just a very tiny one.
I
Tiny
am.
resistance.
In the case of Mouse, yes, extremely tiny.
Don't get me wrong, we're not the resistance. We're just resisting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Resist. Resist. Okay.
Resistors, not the resistance.
Yes, well, Mouse is gonna... He's still targeted, so she's gonna shoot him. Again, she's gonna get this guy.
Ow.
With her laser gun?
With her laser gun! Oh,
Okay.
wait. Shoot.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. She's gonna move to this guy. Here?
Okay, retargeting
Oh, wait,
that
no,
guy.
Yeah, actually, no, I've got soft cover on that. Darn it.
You can probably shoot blue without any cover, aiming from your southeast corner.
Yeah, you could shoot at blue without hitting soft cover.
Cool.
I do it.
Okay. So you're gonna use a move action to retarget and a standard action to shoot?
Yep.
Okay.
Pew. 20 for 8 damage.
Oh, dear God.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? She's decided. She's leaning in on this. Also, it'd be really good to have a rifle. A bullet with bullets for shooting the other dude. So, you know,
Which reminds
it's a matter of...
She fired a
Garrett.
laser rifle.
I could have sworn you took an auto target rifle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Garrett, this
Last
point
time.
reminds you of the auto target rifle in your backpack. It's poking out.
What? Oh my god, that's embarrassing. Okay.
Mouse.
But that's okay, because she nailed him. The laser shot blasts him directly in the chest, burning away his armor and starting a very small fire. It definitely took him aback.
Good.
Go ahead and move over to this guy, Orange, who is still on the other side of the crowd. Seeing the difficulty of trying to attack you guys in a crowded area like this, there's really nowhere for the crowd to go, so they can't disperse. They're all just like trying really hard to avoid any damage. So it's turning into something of a mosh pit.
Ooh, it's like kettling.
So this soldier here drops his rifle and he wades in, pulling out his longsword as he steps through the crowd. Teres looks absolutely terrified as this man does this. And he is going to try to hit Kaylin. Canted, I apologize.
Rude.
I know, that's pretty gross. Does a 15 hit your KAC?
It meets, so yeah.
Dang. This is the first time Kaylin's been hit.
Yeah, usually I stay far enough away that they don't hit me.
That's okay, it's
Like-
not that bad of a hit.
There's nowhere else to go. I can't go back any further.
Yeah, you
There's some
feel the
Like an
wall of force.
invisible wall here.
you feel the crowd pushing against you from behind. You think it would be
Fair
too difficult to move through the densely populated crowd
Yeah,
behind you.
good save, good save.
Fair enough.
There you go.
I like it.
The sword doesn't hit you too bad though. You take 3 slashing damage as it slashes across your armor plating.
All right.
And we're back to Herald.
I'll try demoralizing red. I'll be like,
Okay. From the floor? Like, are you on your back? Like,
oh no, you're right. I'll stand.
like a
I'll
cat?
stand up. The sword and proneness do not play well together. I'll stand up and say, "You've fallen for our trap. Now we have you surrounded." That's a bit better. 17 DC is 15 plus 1.5 CR.
Okay, what is it again?
15 plus 1.5 CR. So if he is CR 1, I succeed. If he's CR 2, I fail.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or 10
what
plus sense motive, whichever is higher.
what does
He is shaken for 1 round. More.
which
if
is
I
minus
succeed.
1?
What?
Is that right?
Oh, what does shaken do? Shaken is a minus. I brought it up.
Actually, I have my.
It's minus 2 to ability checks, attack rolls, saving throws, and skill checks.
I have official Starfinder status cards.
Ooh.
This stream not sponsored by Pfizer.
We wish. We could only wish. I am.
If Pfizer
there
wants
it
to
goes.
sponsor us, that'd be great.
Yeah. I'm sure all 9 of our viewers are actually Paizo. The golem himself.
What was the condition called again?
Shaken.
Shaken. For whatever reason,
Shaken, not
it's not.
stirred.
There's so many conditions, you guys.
Quite a number. No, I've got
There
it.
it
It's
is.
basically just minus 2 to all d20 rolls.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. So he sucks worse. Got it. That brings us to Garuk.
Oh boy. This guy should not have messed with me. 14 and then a 15 to hit KAC.
Oh yeah, those both connect. That's the
yeah.
Brass Dragon Soldier.
Yep, 5 and then 7 damage.
Okay. How do you kill this man?
Gur just, he just kind of looks at him and he's, oh man. I've already used up all my cool stuff for the day. He just kind of bashes him in the head and then on the backswing kind of comes back and catches him, kind of knocking him into the crowd.
Oh,
or to the side.
jeez.
Actually, probably more accurately to the side from where he's standing. So,
Okay.
whack! And then another whack! And he just kind of
Gross.
goes flying onto the ground there.
The
Back of the
rest
head
of you,
bleeding.
the rest of you can hear gasps and cries from the crowd beside you. They obscure exactly what happened, but you suspect that Gur has done something unsavory.
We're the heroes.
Let's have another roar.
Are we though?
Kaylin.
Can I push Teres back away from this guy
Sure.
and move into her square?
Yeah, she seems to have some sort of combat paralysis.
Yeah, just sort of move this way, Teres, as I shift there, and then I'll do a telekinetic projectile, fling a rock at him somewhere on the street here, and probably miss because an 8 isn't a great roll.
That's not a great roll.
So,
Nope.
but I
you
protected the innocent. I'm out of the way. So that's it for me.
You make your disapproval known. You bite your thumb at him. I don't like you.
Nah.
She just bites her thumb in general.
Okay, that will bring us to Blue, who just took a nasty shot from Mouse, and decides that he would like to try to do the same in kind.
Rude.
Does a 13 hit your KAC?
13 KOC. Nope. 14.
Okay. Manages to just miss you. You swear it was going to hit you. It looked like it was aiming at you, but you don't feel anything once the gun goes off. So
I kind of like pat myself, like checking. Okay, yeah, we're good.
Which brings us to Mouse. You do have a big man with a sword next to you, but it looks like Herald managed to intimidate him. You could take a shot, but you imagine he would probably try and stop you from doing so.
He's spooked.
Coo. Well,
Shifting shifting your grip is a swift action. Drawing is a move. You could theoretically do that and attack him with your sword.
With the dueling sword? Oh man. Okay, panic flail, sort of, except with style, with purpose. Yeah. Okay, she does that.
She's gonna draw her
attacks
sword
with-
and attack him.
Yeah. Or at least
Yeah.
she really hopes that she's not as successful as she was last time. She is not. She gets a 5.
Oh yeah. The adorable gnome-sized longsword slashes out at this guy.
Well, it's not a long sword, really. It's a
That's a dueling sword. Whatever that means.
I imagine more of like a fencing sword.
Probably.
Did you say? Oh well, I guess we found it.
Yep. So that will make it Red's turn. He does not appear to be intimidated by that at all. So he is going to move aside and attempt to hit Kaylin again.
Rude.
I know he's
Rude.
rolling a 1. So we'll say in this particular circumstance, he tries to wade through the crowd and he reels back to hit and maybe telegraphs a little too much as a random crowd member ends up smacking his hand and making him drop his sword.
Lol.
Aha!
Fantastic.
As I said, we have you surrounded.
It's like it's an old grandma. She just kind of smacks his hand. You drop that, young man.
You mean horrible boy!
As long as it's not the old grandma from Captain Marvel. No one?
Captain what?
Spoilers.
From what?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Remember Captain Marvel? There was a scroll and... never
yeah.
I think that movie is still recent enough. It's still recent enough.
Yeah, don't spoil things.
Fine.
But I missed the last word, so I was like, Captain.
Yeah.
It's just Captain, the movie Captain.
Just
I don't
Captain.
know.
Captain. Remember Captain?
Yeah, everyone remembers Captain. I'm getting nervous about this dude in my face, but if I walk away, he'll hit me. So I will...
Actually, he doesn't have a sword anymore, so...
Oh, nice, good. I will just mosey on over to the other side of the crowd where Gur is. Espy what I expected to see here, which is a dead Ifrit. Sigh. And then, demoralize Red again.
Keep just taunting him.
Your cause is lost. Your comrades have abandoned you.
For the other side of the
Convincing.
moral coil.
With a 12, he's not convinced.
What he hears on the other side of the crowd is, "Your cause lost."
Oh my god!
Like you're trying to intimidate him from from the other side of a wall of shouting people.
Yeah.
All right, that'll bring us back to Gur.
Who will move over here, and as he does, he's gonna draw his hand cannon.
Oh, it's time.
He's got hammer in his offhand, hand cannon in his main hand, and he is going to shoot blue.
All right, give it to me.
You ready? You ready for this? Here comes the
I'm ready.
shot.
It's gonna be a great roll.
It's an 11 with 1 damage. That is why you gotta jinx it. I blame you.
All right. Well, this intimidating-looking orc comes out with his giant gun and takes a Sunrise Collective soldier that is now separated from his comrades, doing little more than making his presence known by firing in his general direction. Which brings us to Kaylin.
You know what? He's in my face, and I have nothing great I can do otherwise. So, Kaylin will fix him with a glare. You really think you're gonna make it out of this? Oh, I'm not very intimidating either. Darn. And I don't really have anything great to do with my move action. Oh yes, it was a 14. Not enough to shake anybody. Um, so that'll be it. Gonna
Okay.
try and keep him distracted, I guess.
That'll bring us to Blue, who now has 2 targets, deciding that the orc is the more intimidating one. He's going to back off. You see him speaking into like a shoulder comm unit saying that they need backup. And he's going to try to take a shot at Gur.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Oof. Does a 20 hit your EAC?
It does indeed.
Oh, alright. Okay. That is going to be 5 piercing damage as his hunting rifle bites home.
Gur catches himself a little bit, and after a little bit of a stagger, spits a little bit of blood on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But he grins through it and kind of just pulls out his lighter and lights his cigar, and he is ready to stomp somebody if he wasn't before.
All right. Mouse.
All right. Well, Mouse.
If she moves out of this spot away from the guy that she's been engaging in melee, will he have an attack of opportunity
He
on her?
doesn't have a sword right now. I think you're okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
You're fine.
Neat. Cool. Well, Mouse is gonna move
Uh-huh.
to here.
Blue looks like he is about to go down.
Good.
Well, probably even more so because I think Mouse is about to shoot him again.
Yeah. And
Right.
Mouse is going to shoot. She's gonna drop her sword and shoot
Okay.
with the laser rifle is what she had out. So,
Mhm.
All right. 23. 7 damage.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Right after he shoots Gur while calling for backup, he looks over and sees Mouse emerge from the crowd just before she nails him again. This one, it hits right where you shot the armor last time, and it breaks all the way through. And you can see that it has done substantial damage to his body. You can see bone and flesh as it sears through. He is very much dead from this attack.
Yep. Well, that's what you get.
Don't your kill.
You know what? It would have been hilarious if Mouse had rolled Intimidate, because she does have Intimidate, there, and been like, "Hurrah!" with like her gun, and like he's already been hit by R1. And
Okay.
then he would have just called for even more backup.
Yeah. We need more backup. There's a gnome.
Oh God!
You don't
There's a
understand.
gnome.
Okay. That'll bring us to this collective soldier guy. He is going to go ahead and now that he is lacking all of his weaponry, he is going to retreat through the crowd towards the soldiers that are further back from where you are. So this whole fight has caused enough of a commotion that you believe that you might be able to just get into the station right now.
All right,
Re-
everyone.
reloading.
Let's keep moving before they figure out what's going on.
Okay, Mouse is going to pick up her sword, and then she's also gonna pass the dead guy and pick up his comm radio.
Oh, okay.
Good thinking, Mouse.
Good move, yes.
Mind if I nab that from you briefly?
Sure.
In a perfect facsimile of the dead gentleman's voice, I'll say, sorry, that was a false alarm. Everything's fine out here.
How are you?
How are you?
Gur
Wait,
would
no,
like to
no,
pick up
hold
the
on,
phone.
better idea. No, I lost my better idea. What's something that is a is an emergency that would cause bloodshed, but is an emergency that we want them to think has occurred.
Report a riot at the back of the group.
Ooh! No, what about what's the name of the two factions that we're fighting?
The Sunrise Collectives and the Brass Dragons.
Some of the Brass Dragons seems to have fired upon some of the Sunrise Collective.
Oh my God!
Over.
Yes.
Back at the back of the crowd, you're gonna say?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do a bluff check just to. It's got to be a good one this time, right? Oh, God.
No, I can only roll
Come
below a
on.
5. That's a 13.
Oh. You don't get a response. You're not sure if it's because they don't believe you or because people are too busy trying to contain a now panicking crowd outside.
Well, no one bats 100.
You are all free to make it inside of the room. Oh, I just realized that I have to do a thing in order to allow you to do that. Haha.
Yes, delete the wall.
Delete the door. The door must be deleted.
Oh goodness. What do we have here?
OMG, is that what I think it is?
Okay. So, as you enter,
It's a Skittermander.
this front room has been kept mostly clean. You suspect that none of the people being processed are led into the station itself, and that this is more reserved for the troops themselves. Otherwise, it would look significantly more dirty in here. There are benches and tables in the waiting area. Everything you would expect to see in a front room of a police station, except for a large banner on the eastern wall. This white banner depicts a Lashunta's head in profile over a yellow sun. You recognize that this is the logo of the Sunrise Collective that showed up on Zaylin Trinipol's broadcast. To the north, you see an office beyond the reception desk. Here there are chairs and desks with different nameplates and arranged sentimental objects, although nobody is currently sitting at them. There is, however, a Skittermander sitting at the aforementioned reception desk. They wear what you believe would be the standard Asanatown police outfit, complete with a cap. He doesn't necessarily look happy to see you, however. It appears that he is aware of what was happening outside, and you see him lifting up a ember flame doshko as he goes, "You're the interlopers! Prepare to die!"
Oh boy.
Oh dear. I don't suppose you're at all. Oh, did my page? No, we're good. I don't suppose you're at all sympathetic to the cause of allowing non-Lashunta to live in Asanatown.
I believe in upholding the law, and the Sunrise Collective are the law.
Yes, well, the law can be changed so that it actually agrees with the will of the people.
It doesn't look like he is willing to listen, but please hit me with a diplomacy check.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can only roll diplomacy checks, not bluff checks, apparently. That's a 28.
28.
Well, that fits with Harald's character because he actually hates lying now.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not a fan of lying.
His heart just isn't in it.
So, at this, you see that the doshko is lifted, and you see those little tiny Skittermander hands running over it, ready to power it on. But he hesitates, looking amongst a lot of you, and he goes, I'll have to ask the captain. And he kind of looks back at the door behind him.
Why don't you let us ask the captain?
I'm sorry, he doesn't say captain, he says lieutenant. He goes, okay. He looks down to his comm unit and he speaks to him. He says, Lieutenant Yinwen, we have visitors. They want to talk. After a delay, you hear, let them in.
Oh,
The
that's
door
promising.
to your left opens. So over here, you can pass through.
Which door? Ah, yes, I see it.
Yeah. The northern door is the one that he indicated. Let's see here.
As I walk by the desk, do I see anything worth taking?
Good question. There's mostly mundane items here. They're all pretty sentimental in value. You can tell, like pictures and stuff like that. Nothing that would sell. But
I was
you
hoping
do
for
see...
information.
No, they keep things pretty tidy here in terms of not leaking stuff, it would seem. You do find a desk that has a cred stick with 100 credits on it.
I'll just pocket that.
And you, on another desk, do see a static arc pistol with a full battery on it.
They won't be needing that either.
Let's see. Take 100 credits and static arc. Let's go ahead and put that there. So the Skittermander, whose nameplate, by the way, says MIMS, M-I-M-S. He turns around and eyes you all suspiciously, still holding on to his unpowered Doshko before opening the door. Yeah. And stepping in.
Yeah, I guess we'll follow.
Sorry, Teres is also following along. She seems mostly comfortable with Kaylin.
Who she hasn't seen kill anybody yet.
Oh no, she's seen the magic. She hasn't seen anybody die by her hands necessarily, but she's seen the magic. So
that guy knows. At the very beginning, I whacked him and then she murdered him with a telekinetic.
Did Teres see that happen specifically though? Who knows? Maybe she did.
I don't know. She was there.
Did you guys all want to move into this room?
Yeah, maybe.
So this room, it's a large room that has doors on all four sides. See, there's a long conference table running down the center. The center of the table has a holographic projector that displays a three-dimensional model of Asanatown. And the side bubble clear light is included here. On the metal, several locations are labeled in red. It would appear that this functions as some sort of briefing room before the station was transformed into this checkpoint military facility. Here you see an Ifrit of Lashuntan descent. He appears to be a member of the Brass Dragons, and he looks highly suspicious of you. If I could grab a sense motive from anybody who has that capability.
Oh, yes.
I believe...
oh, there's a 28.
Gur is on top of Herald.
Herald 24.
Okay. As he looks you over, you can tell that he's working and he's doing his job. Like he's doing what he's told and keeping any of the undesirables in check. However, his heart isn't into it. This is just a job to him, and you get the impression that he's not willing to die today for this cause. So he looks as you all enter and he says, "Are you the ones that caused the trouble out front?"
I would say the guards caused the trouble.
He rolls his eyes.
Look, we're just trying to... How do you feel about the recent political decision of one man made in Asanatown?
It's not just one man. The Sunrise Collective has been here for decades.
one man is probably not accurate, but certainly not a representative democratic sample of Asanatown's beliefs.
Yeah, you're right, but Asanatown isn't paying me. Sunrise Collective is.
I see you're with the Bronze Dragons.
Correct.
Out of curiosity, how did you come to be in contact with it? It seems sort of odd that such a rather racist collective would decide to hire a bunch of outsiders.
He narrows his eyes and he looks amongst a lot of you. Goes, look, that decision is above my head. They just tell me where to go and I go there. Okay, I'm not interested in details like that. If you work in this,
Well, maybe you
if you
should
work
be.
in this business long enough, you understand that knowing more details usually doesn't help you. It actually makes things worse.
He's right.
Well, only if you don't have the luxury of choosing what side you're on.
Look, it's pretty clear what you guys are here to do. So, what do I have to do to get you out of my hair?
Just let us take Nib. Was it Nib?
Nib, N-I-B. Teres, upon realizing that this is kind of the purpose of being here, she looks up at him and says, Did you take in a Yosoki recently? At which point he looks at her and kind of furrows his brow and he goes, What, her? Yeah, we took her in. She bit right through one of our soldiers' arms.
Good for her.
We had to take him in to medevac. Yeah, I think the commander had a special plan in store for her. But you're saying you came here to save her? Is that what this is?
I'm saying that we can get out of your hair if you give her to us. I don't think you want to know any more than that.
He looks shocked. He's like, so the 5 of you decided to raid a checkpoint to save one person. He just kind of smirks. He's like, you're crazy. All right, if that's what's going to get you out of
Get that a
here.
lot.
He will walk over to the door here and he will plug in a code to open it.
Ooh, what code is it?
It doesn't designate, but let's go with 58008.
Hey,
What does it mean?
geez. Question: What kind of weapons does this guy have on him?
Okay, let's see. This man, Lieutenant Yinwin, has... he also has an Ember Flame Doshko, and he has an Ifrit-class flamethrower.
Fantastic. I'll also say to him, and I will accept your weapons and surrender.
He's gonna look at you. I'm going to need...
Shall I
a bit-
intimidate him?
You are gonna
for-
need to give me an intimidate for that.
Come on now. I will accept those weapons now. 20 on the die. Will it do it?
It's not 20 on the die, it's 20 mod.
No, you're right. Sorry.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Very dirty.
So it's 15 plus CR times 2?
CR times 1.5.
1.5.
Ooh. Okay. He pauses
I'll take just one of them.
and he looks at Gur and then he looks at Herald specifically because he seems to be the one that's asserting himself. And he goes, "Are you serious?"
Look, I think that we've been more than civil, and I'd like us to continue being civil. We're not going to attack you. You have nothing to fear from us. So I think you can safely give over the weapons without worrying about what comes next.
Well, if you're not going to attack me, then I don't see why I have to hand over my weapons.
Sorry, there was an implicit conditional in there.
Can I get a perception check?
Oh no. Yep. Oh, I only got a 12.
Mm-mm.
Oh boy, let's see.
There's that nat 20.
There you go.
21.
Yeah. Let me look up a thing real quick.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm trying to get a sense for like how hard he rejects it, and I am, and as I'm trying, I'm obviously trying not to give this away, but I would probably be willing to back down on this particular demand if he looks unwilling to meet it without bloodshed.
Let's see. Where is the
Just
flamethrower
had to
at?
push our luck, didn't you?
It doesn't actually say where that's located.
Make it up.
Well, okay. Here's the deal. Gur, you see... Gur and Mouse, you both see his finger brush over the flamethrower. And you imagine that the chamber that feeds the fuel into the actual projection module has been switched. And he looks at Harold, giving a very brief glance over at Guruk, who has successfully intimidated him. He says, "If that's how it's going to be, then I don't. It'll look bad if I lose my gear." So.
You're saying that if you give that to us, your superiors will suspect you of working with us?
Have you worked for a contractor company before? What do you think happens if you lose their equipment?
All right, we can back off of that one with a meaningful look towards Gur. Can you tell us where those people are being taken out back?
Oh, well, yeah, it's a camp. They're rounding up everyone and getting their names in a database, I think.
And
A database.
What are their plans for them?
I don't ask questions. I already told you that.
Of course.
The less I know, the easier it is for me to take my money and go to bed.
Sounds like a personal problem. Where's this database?
Do you think I would know that?
Well, I mean, they're being processed here. Do they log in from here?
Look, some of their tech guys set up some sort of network. They took down the infosphere, but they set up a private. It's like a military connection.
Do you have connection to that here?
Probably. That's
Cool.
not my job.
And then she just turns around in the middle of this conversation and just starts typing on this computer.
Okay. Got it. So the rest of you, while Mouse is screwing around on the computer, what would you like to do? He's motioning towards the Yinwen is motioning to the door. Mims kind of still holding onto his Doshko and trying his best to look intimidating.
But he unlocked the door, right? So
He did unlock the door, and he looks at you. He's like, "So are you gonna get your friend and go, or?"
I'll nod to gosh, what's her name? Starts with a T, like all names.
Tayres.
Tayres, towards the door.
Okay. Okay, so Tayres will open the door, and Seth will click on a sound set that he has prepared for this.
Ooh.
And then he'll go to his notes where he has written down what happens when you open this door. I'm sorry, I lifted the veil too much. Everyone can see.
Yeah, put it back. Put the veil
Oh,
back.
no!
Oh,
Whoa,
God.
put it back, put it back!
I gotta put it down.
You're showing us your privates.
Oh no! So Yes, this room is a small room containing 2 chairs and a table. A large inset mirror takes up the upper portion of the western wall. Other walls depict a cheerful park scene of Lashunta children playing on green grass beneath a sun that fills the entire sky. The whole thing is rendered in paint. It seems a little out of place in this scenario, but if you examine it long enough, you will see that underneath the mirror on this mural is Mims, the officer that you met as soon as you entered the station, underneath a tree, waving, and you see his signature underneath him.
Oh my god, that's adorable and disgusting.
In this room, you see at the table small Yosoki with brown fur in a pink plaid suit with a tan shawl and a pair of goggles. Let me present you.
Yeah, goggles. Maybe she ordered them from the same site I did.
She's currently manacled to a loop built into the table. And let's see.
Oh, very cute.
Oh yeah, she's a cute little mouse. As soon as the door opens, she starts shouting, "This is an illegal detention! You can't keep me here! This is..." And then she sees Teres and goes, "Oh, hi, Tay-Tay." And Teres doesn't really know what to say.
Herald will cover for it then.
So, like, Teres looks very angry, actually.
Good morning. I take it you are Nib.
Uh-huh. Who are you? And she looks between Teres and Herald like, what the hell? Never seen this person before.
Yes, I'm Takrishti. I'm a friend of your friend. We're here to get you out of here.
You just couldn't control yourself, could you? Teres chides Nib. And Nib is like, look, they were manhandling me. I've got big teeth. I'm gonna use them. You know what that's like. And she just kind of smirks at Teres, who flushes a little bit. It's gross.
Yes, regardless, we should probably get out of here before we use up too much of the lieutenant's patience.
At that, the lieutenant leans around the corner and presents a pair of keys, which you suspect are probably for
I'll take the key.
manacles. Oh.
And I unlock her from the desk.
She, after freeing her hands, she rubs her wrists a little bit, and she looks up at you with a big old mousy smile, and she's like, thanks, stranger.
The name was Takrishti, yes. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
I don't suppose there's anyone else in here that we need to rescue?
I didn't see anyone. I guess they only take people in here if they were really naughty.
Really bitey, yes.
And you get the impression that she's really smart. She just uses dumb words because she knows it gets Teres's goat, you suspect. She's doing her best to drive her crazy right now. Probably not the best solution, considering she just got saved, but, you know.
Yeah, I know. I know the trope.
You know the type. Trope. Thanks.
Tropes are good. Plus, you didn't write this, so...
Well, there's no explicit. Anyway, I don't have to keep the veil lifted.
No, put it back down.
So yeah, are you gonna leave the interrogation room?
Sure.
All right.
How have I been doing on that computer?
So
check?
Yeah, while this is going on, you notice that this computer seems to be tied to some sort of local network, specifically in the police station itself. You can access files and folders that were station specific. The infosphere is still down. It appears that these computers are not utilized on whatever special network these guards are using. You think that those special computers might be outside where all the crowd and the shooting and the soldiers are.
Dang. Wish I was better at sneaking.
At that, though, Nib gets a look at most of the rest of the group, and she's like, wow, you brought a lot of friends.
Yes, it was a happy coincidence. We happened to be in the area when Asanatown changed hands.
Huh. Well,
I'm sure we can discuss all of this more out of the lieutenant's earshot.
Yunaman just looks at you, all like, was Gur gonna do something? I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, well, this has been going on. Gur would have liked to have been talking to the Skittermander about potential first aid for his wound. Just,
Mims, he seems
helpful, right?
Oh, you're right. You're appealing to his helpful senses. Like he's growly about it, but he'll give you a med patch.
Perfect. Gur takes it.
It's like, enjoy, traitor.
I guess I'll check with Mouse on the comm. How are we coming on the computers? Do you need more time?
There's nothing here. I'd really like to know how this Yosoki got a.
I'll send back. Let's talk about it later.
Do you know that it's in Yosoki? You've been in the other room pretty much exclusively.
Oh, no, I think they mentioned, is there a Yosoki being held here?
Oh, yeah, Teras
Remember?
did, yeah. So, yeah, you would know. Yeah, she would probably happily talk to you about that later on.
Okay.
Before we go and get out of your hair, Lieutenant, I feel like I would be much remiss if I didn't at least ask you... I understand that everyone's got to eat, and I understand that everyone is given orders, and that you can't always just... and that it's often easiest to just follow them. But there's a lot of different institutions that are willing to pay you. Most of them, and many of them quite lucrative, and many of them that still line up with your personal beliefs about how the world should function.
He doesn't look amused. It's like he's heard this before, you know. He's an Ifrit. He probably grew up in Corona. He's a half breed. They're not necessarily the most favored folk. So he kind of gives you a look that implies that you don't understand where he's from, sort of thing. Almost like a teenager, but a more mature version of the expression. And he's like, look, if you go out the front, you're probably not going to make it very far. So he motions to the door that he's standing beside. If you go through here, this is the parking garage. There's some squad cars. You could probably use those to get out of here safer.
Oh, yes.
I see. Thank you, Lieutenant. And I'll pass him some credits. He seems like the type who would appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. How many credits do you give him?
How many credits do
We
I
do have a cred stick. Gur has a cred stick with 100 in his pocket.
Hello.
You don't know
He's
that.
still off
I'll
of
pass
that.
him. I'll pass him 50
Don't
creds.
I?
50 credits?
Yeah.
It's almost insulting. That's not like you think that maybe the amount of money he's accepted to do what he's doing right now is probably substantial by comparison, but he won't decline it. He'll take it and he'll go, thanks. It's just kind of like with an eyebrow raised, like, man, you're really helping me out, man.
Like, wow, yeah, I'll try not to spend it all in one place.
Look, that's all my money.
He goes, here, you'll probably need these. And he produces 2 key fobs, one for
Yes.
each squad car that you believe might be out there.
Gur will happily take one.
And I'll give Kalen the other.
No way.
Wait, our pilot gets it? Hold on.
So weird.
I don't think that's a good idea, guys.
And then we'll go through the door.
I'm gonna toss you out in airlock.
I deserve that.
He'll go ahead and step out of the way. And yeah, you can see indeed there are 2 police squad cars waiting outside in the parking area.
Kaelin
so
follows
just-
the rest of the group out, making sure to keep a close eye on these two in case they try anything fishy.
They don't. Mims is glaring at you and holding his Doshko as threateningly as he can manage to do.
I mean, when he's, a
Last
cute
one
little
through the door.
Scamander.
Gives him a nod.
No, this guy seems
Close the door.
nice and corrupt. I think I understand him.
Yeah, exactly.
So, as soon as Mouse comes into view of Nib, who's wearing goggles and also has ears, except hers are real, she looks at you and goes, "Ooh, look at this cutie."
I ship it.
Liz stepped away from the computer foolishly.
Oh no.
She's back.
Okay.
I like your look.
And then she kind of like shoots an awkward finger gun, like, hey.
Are you wearing
and then
the
makes a note-
hood right now?
No, she would have pushed it back so that she
Okay.
can think.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, it's kind of like, oh, hey. And then makes a note to take the other car.
And she looks between you and Teres, and she's like, is she here to get a tan or something?
Oh, we are now no longer. Well, now we're definitely not going to be friends. She doesn't say that out loud, though. She just kind of gives her a withering glare.
And purposefully like meaningfully goes over to the car with Harold with a look that
Okay.
clearly indicates,
Do not follow me.
Ooh, feisty.
Let's get out of here, shall we?
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
let's. Before we're caught.
Oh,
uh,
Gur's already got his started up.
yeah. So I imagine it's Gur takes Teres and Nib, and the rest of you in Harold's. Is that kind of what we're doing
Sure.
here?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you pull out from the station in your respective squad cars, you start to round the corner, but you see a kind of surprising sight. One of these military vans these armored vans that they're utilizing has its back open, and a group of Sunrise Collective soldiers are watching as prisoners are loaded into it. The very last person in the line is none other than Ninden himself, being guided into the back of this armored van. He looks like he's being compliant simply because he's outnumbered 5-1. But the door closes on the back of the van, and before they can file out, there's an explosion off to the north. Several of the soldiers hold up their hand to their earpieces, and then they wave at each other, and they start running off towards the explosion, leaving the closed and locked van unattended. And that
Change
is
of
where
plans.
and that is where we will stop for today.
Ah, we found Ninden.
Oh, there he was, right at the end of the episode. Who
Imagine that.
knew?
No way.
Kidding.
Locked in a closet.
Ah. But
So there you have it.
now, we have a very clear goal from the start of next time. Save hecking Ninden.
That
Yeah.
works. That works.
Yes, I hope you enjoyed episode 3. Goodness, we're 3 deep on this.
Already, yeah.
Wowzers.
Yeah,
We're just-
yeah, I liked it.
There was
Still
a
enjoyed-
little bit more to see in Checkpoint Laubu, but the combats were going a little long, so I wanted to truncate a bit.
Yeah.
Well, and
make
we
sure
we
could
stay
on
have been big damn heroes, but Kaelin wasn't gonna propose it. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like a really
I hate you.
ill-advised plan to try and rescue all of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have avoided some of the combats if I'd rolled better. I'll blame roll 20.
Unfortunate.
mm-hmm.
Damn it.
You know, Harald, just such a putz. Such a putz,
Such
that Harald.
butts.
Diplome more, lie less.
Yeah, I
Apparently
guess.
is the lesson.
You know, the idea is that depending on how likely someone is to be sympathetic, depends on whether I tell them the truth or lie to them blatantly, and that particular mob seemed extremely hostile.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of mobs. today.
Well, not
I
surprising.
mean, there's
No.
the current or the previous standing governing force has been usurped, so there's going to be some problems.
Oh yes.
Mobbishness.
All right. Well, unless there's anything anyone else would like to address or plug, if anybody has anything going on.
Oh, next week we have the
Oh.
Battle Royale.
Yeah, indeed.
Nice.
Saturday, I believe, is at 9 p.m. EST.
Oh goodness.
I think
Patrick
that's
linked it in the chat.
Patrick did link it in the chat.
Find it. There it is. It is indeed 9 a.m. Eastern.
At CritterCon 2. Anybody who's here watching probably doesn't need me to tell you this, but CritterCon 2 is happening next weekend, Friday to Sunday. There are all kinds of Starfinder Society tables that you can join in. If you're new to it, if you're experienced, there is a table for you. Come to the Cosmic Crit Discord. There are Warhorn links all over, and they will help you sign up for games. You can also hang out, watch some special shows going on, including the Survival Deathmatch Extreme, where you get to see the crew of the Fortune's Fool that you just watched in today's episode, plus one more person who was missing, fight off against the Season 2 crew of Cosmic Crit, who I don't think have an official name yet. I think once they save Madelon's Landing, they'll probably be called the Heroes of Madelon's Landing, but they haven't saved it yet, so joke's on them.
Spoilers.
We're now taking bets on win. Send all money to non-standard action.
The Madelon's maidens. Yeah.
The Madelons.
Madelon's maidens. That's not going to be difficult to say.
Not at all.
But yeah, I do believe I think we're going to set up a thing where you can donate money to Doctors Without Borders, which is going to be
that's right.
the primary charity going on there. And I believe this will go towards granting critical hits and that sort of craziness during the fight. So
yeah, I saw the season crew mention something about that, and I didn't know what they were talking about, so we should figure that out.
Yeah, No, I mean, we have it all figured out. It's just a surprise to the audience. We are 100% completely
yes, that's
on
it.
our game.
Mm-hmm.
We know everything that's going on. We're just keeping
everything
secret.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it. So everybody have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next Saturday and then next Sunday. Take care of yourself, everyone.